Okay. Up, 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 up. Okay, almost there, almost there. API is updated. I can post everything. Awesome. Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Today is a lovely Tuesday, which means that it is time for some Twitch SMP. I'm just getting some things set up here. Hope you're all doing well. It's good to see you guys. Boop. All right, we're live on all the places. We have all the things. Okay. Audio sync. Sweet. Okay. Hope everybody's doing well. If you guys can't tell, we're going to be doing some glass things today. We're going to try to finish the whole dome today. Because if I do, then, like, that's a big portion of the build done. And I can just, like, really focus in on trying to fill in the build before the end of the season, which is coming up not rapidly, but a little bit faster than what I was kind of hoping it would. And just to kind of catch you guys up to speed on how much more dome we have left, there it is. And just to, like, furthermore add into that, we have 45.5% more to go. So we're almost there. Just about 10,000 more glass to place. That's not too bad, really. So this will get done. The only question is it going to happen today or is it going to happen on Thursday? And I don't know. I do not know. Let's go ahead and sleep. Swifty, congrats on grabbing first. That is your 60th redemption of the first redeem. And thank you for submitting your taxes as well. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Alright. I've got one shulker of glass here. Let's go ahead and swap out one of them right here, right now, because I've got an empty one on me, and I just don't have a need for that. And then I can take one of those. Okay, so each of these have 1.7k. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 of these that are all 1.7k. I should have a little extra glass then for the whole build, which will be kind of nice. All right, come on in. Boop. Okay. Going on a field trip tomorrow, but one of the learning ones and not the fun ones. I mean, learning field trips can be fun. What are you guys, where are you guys, you can't say exactly where you're going, but what are you guys supposed to be learning about, if you don't mind me asking? I'm curious. We're going to a job fair? Okay. That's not terrible. Those aren't super fun until you're old and you're like, oh no, I'm unemployed and I really need a job. But they're nice to go to. You can kind of see what's open to you. I know you already have like a you kind of have a lot of your interests in mind already, which is a good thing. But you know, you never know what might spark your interest, or if you see somebody there who already, who's already in the field that you want to get into, you can always talk to them and at least have a conversation about what their day-to-day life looks like, and what your day-to-day life might look like as well when you enter that field, which is really cool. Or you may, at the very least, you may just run into some backup plans, even of like, oh, if I don't get into, if I don't make it big as an author, then I may fall back on, I don't know what other people do. I may fall back on something that interests me as well, which would be, I don't know, if you have a tech company that shows up, then, you know, even looking into software development might be interesting, because I know you're interested in game development, so software development is a similar field to a certain degree. It's not a carbon copy by any means, but it is at least a field adjacent. Let's see. So like crap ton of companies have tents set up and try to recruit you or tell you about the career, except my careers are so niche, nothing there I like will probably be there. That's fair. That is a good point. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, it all just depends on what career you'll see there, and what career you really ultimately want to end up in. And it's hard to say, you know, I totally get that. There is no job fair in the world that has the careers I want. You know, obviously, I don't think they invite YouTubers and streamers to be at job fairs. So I totally get that. And I get why they wouldn't invite them to be there, because it's not realistic. But beyond that, you know, also, like, I'm trying to think of the wording to use here. It's, oh. I messed it up a little bit. There we go. Trying to think. How do I want to say that? You know, outside of, like, YouTube, you know, let's say game development even, well, that would require an actual studio to bring people, or an indie dev coming out, and indie devs don't have all the answers to that because most of them didn't go to school. That's the truth. So it's kind of like, to give you an actual plan on how to get into the field where most people want to be working, you usually need some amount of degree so that, you know, EA will hire you. Although I don't know if you'd really want to work for EA, but, you know, some people might. Some people really want to make a difference in a company, and that's one where you more than likely wouldn't, but maybe you could if you work your way up somehow. But, you know, a lot of those places do require degrees if you want to work at, like, a AAA studio, so you know, indie devs aren't going to be the play there, and most people aren't going to pay for a whole company to come out and do a recruiting event unless you're going to, like, a full-on college, and at that, it would have to be a tech school of some sort. So, you know, you're talking a really high dollar budget there for a probably not super high dollar school. Okay. Let's see. I do get out of school for the entire day, so I would say that's the one. That's fair. You get to also hang out with some of your friends, maybe. I don't know. I'm assuming you have friends that are also going with you on the trip, so you'll be able to hang out around them. Did you hear this? I'm so sorry, dude. Tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow or tonight, either of those two. I've been working really hard. Today, I didn't even think about it. I've been busy today. I'm going to do it. I'm going to. One of these days, I'm going to surprise you, and it's going to be like, yeah, I actually did listen. I suck. I suck. The closest I can probably get is the engineering people, probably. And a lot of people who are into engineering are also into software development, at least to a small degree. Maybe not necessarily to its greatest extent, but a lot of them do utilize softwares and do work on other softwares. Sometimes they develop websites as well on the side. So, I mean, you may be able to find some people there, but you're probably right. Engineering is more than likely going to be the closest you can get there. Okay. If they did, they would get some random person who says they're a YouTuber, but like get 60 views a video. Yup, exactly, Swiftu. And if they didn't do that, they'd get somebody way too popular for a job fair. And then there'd be people swarming it because they want to see insert YouTuber here, not because they're there for a job fair. Hello, nobody. Hello, Nafan. Good to see you both. Hope you're doing well. You're all good, Nafan. Don't you worry about it. Don't you worry about it. Or buy out EA for 55 billion. Yeah. Or just pull a Saudi Arabia and just buy EA for $55 billion. That's with a B, guys. Billion. I would not dare buy EA for 55 billion. The IPs are probably worth it, in all honesty. FIFA, Madden, their Star Wars IPs. You know, those are all really high dollar IPs. I mean, they also have Battlefield under their name. They have, there's another one that I'm thinking of and I can't remember it all of a sudden. EA has a massive catalog of games, though. If you sold off all of that to the highest bidder, in just terms of names alone, you probably could make back your $55 billion investment. Maybe not quite. However, they will make back their money very quickly in the sense of, well, I mean, all it takes is a couple of solid hits. So if they actually say, hey, take your time on these games, guys, we expect to make our investment back in 10 years. That is feasible. Let's see. If you remember me, I do remember you. How's it going, dude? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, I got a bot I need to take care of. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'd buy them and make them respectable. If I owned EA, dude, you guys would be getting some of the greatest games of all time. You guys would be getting the greatest games of all time, because with that name and that amount of developer power spread out across all the companies, you could feasibly start a side company alongside underneath the EA umbrella that is just getting money poured into it from the publisher. And then you can make some really solid original games. You wouldn't be getting copy-pasted Battlefield games. You'd be getting Battlefront 3. Because that's what people want. They want Star Wars Battlefront 3. You know, I'm just saying. If I were in charge of EA, you guys would be getting games you want. I don't want to be in charge of EA, though. I want to just make Omnia and then be done. Like, I'm going to be that grumpy game dev where I do one thing and then I never make anything ever again. I'm going to be like Notch, but like a little more well-liked, I think. Hopefully. A little less controversial. Although Notch is working on another game, so I guess, like, technically speaking, you know, he would have me beat out in terms of games. I don't know. Huh. I'm out of glass. Okay. And the real funny part is they barely did a dent in their wealth. Yeah, that's true. It was drops in the bucket for them. Quite honestly, I'm surprised that they did split it up that much. Like, you would have thought just one person would have bought it all, but I guess to diversify the risk a little bit, it makes sense why you would split up the buyout a little bit more. I don't know. Want to get there? Okay. They split up all the franchises, so some sports games suck and some don't. Xbox gets Madden, PlayStation gets FIFA, and so on. It would be so funny and terrible. That would be interesting. That would be really interesting to see that go. Theoretically, technically speaking, if Sony or Xbox, if either of those two actually poured time and made their own sports franchise, it would do well. They just wouldn't have the official licensing of FIFA or Madden. So they'd have to work up a name for themselves. But it wouldn't be hard. Give it 4 years and you could actually have a really nice following on those games. But most people don't want to put in the effort, and it doesn't really do them any good to own these games because they don't have to develop Madden, and it brings in subscribers to their cloud streaming services so that people buy Game Pass, they buy PlayStation Plus, they buy whatever, you know. It's just economically sound for them to not develop games if they don't have to. JMO, welcome on in, Raiders. How's it going? Can we get a shout out for JMO? Admiral, I saw you were here. Submit your tax. Do you mind popping a shout out in there for us? Welcome on in. What were you guys doing? What were you guys up to? I'm gonna do it myself. I think Admiral is taking a pee break. / shout out JMO the Schmo. If you guys haven't already, be sure to follow JMO. Great streamer. Awesome dude in general. Minecraft streamer. They play a little bit of slightly modded Minecraft. And then also, I believe, a lot of vanilla Minecraft as well. It's always a pleasure to pop over to JMO's streams. If you guys haven't watched it, I know we've definitely rated him in the past. It's always a good time, though. So definitely go check him out if you have some time. Started a new viewer realm, just messing around. Hey, love to hear it, dude. Love to hear it. That's awesome. If you need to grade and run and go grab some dinner or go do anything really, please feel free to do so. I appreciate the raid as always, though. To catch everybody up to speed really quick, we are playing on the Twitch SMP, which is a content creator server I'm a part of, and we are building up a pretty big mega build. So as you can see, we've got a really big hole here, and we're going to fill it up before long. But we're also putting this big dome over top of it so that it looks really, really cool. Or at least that's the hope, is that it will look really cool. I can't promise that it definitely will. But it's getting there. We're going to try to finish the dome today. So we've got, I can tell you, we've got that much to go. So a little under half, I believe. I can actually tell you exactly. We've got 40% to go. So we're not doing too bad. And we're just kind of yapping about all sorts of things. Right now we're talking about how EA got bought out by some private investors. And, you know, what that could look like and all sorts of things like that. It's been a pretty good day, though. Appreciate the raid again. Let me go ahead and catch up on chat. Welcome everybody in. Game companies will hate Omnia because it'll take a ton of their business and revenue. Oh, they will hate the game, absolutely. I have friends who buy the yearly soccer EA game with no question. It's amazing how you can develop for 2 minutes on a 10 words question. Yeah. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, I know a lot of people who will buy the newest sports game, and it's scary. I know everybody has their thing, but I just can't justify buying the newest football game or the newest soccer game or the newest basketball game because there's very little change ever between them. I could get it maybe every other year or every 4 years even, because then there would be enough changes to like really warrant an update. But I mean, now you can even update the rosters by just pressing a button. They don't even require you to get the new game for it anymore. So I don't know why. Making a good sports game is so easy. Don't make it cost anything more. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to make a good sports game, all you gotta do is just make it like the sports, and then just make it like cheap. So like $40, $50. That's cheap for a brand new game these days, and people would flock to it because it's cheaper than buying the Madden game that's $90. You know. Anyway, hello, Chris. Hello, JMO. Hello, Jay. Hello, everybody. Copernicus Cat? Copernicus. Copernicus Cat. Hello, how's it going? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I always struggle with your name. I don't know why. I've heard it said worse. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I am so sure you've heard worse. I'm sure you've also heard better, though. But it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. The competition is not great now. There is not great competition when it comes to football games or sports games in general. Start a new viewer realm, just messing around. Heck yeah, that's awesome, dude. That is awesome. You got like mini quality of life mods, I see. Yes, we have free cam. I love free cam. We have light medica. We have shaders. I have like fancy inventory sorting mods. Sounds. It's one of my favorite mods. I think that's pretty much the extent of it. I do have the mini-map mod, but I don't really use it. But people do like it, and I installed it because it was a recommended mod for the server, so I installed it, but I don't ever use it. I know some people who love it, though. I've never gotten into it personally. I like using coordinates. I'm one of those sickos. Because of licensing, I feel like the sports game market is hard to get into, so that is part of the yearly soccer game effect. That is true. If you don't have the money to get the licensing for it, then you have to basically... Well, I mean, you have to just either determine, do I need the licensing? Do I need to... Oh my gosh, I messed that up again. Do I need to get licensing for all these football teams, or should I just make up a few? You know, with like college ball, or if you wanted to, I guess you could go even into high school ball, which would be a really insane thing to try. You could just make it up, because there are lower divisions, and as long as you're not playing... Or, you know, go with a low division for lower licensing fees. You know, nobody's making games about anything under NCAA. So, you know, find a league that's not super popular and then make a football game out of that. Most places would probably be loving to have you put them in their game. It's free marketing. And you could start your way up from there. Or, you know, you could... You might be able to just offer royalties instead of getting a licensing fee. So everybody gets every team that signs on gets a 10% royalty off of, or they get a part of the 10% royalty for signing on per copy. So if you saw 100,000 copies, you know, that's 10% of that would be 1,000, and that's split amongst, you know, all the schools or all the college, the whole league, for using their branding, using their, all that. It would have to be a higher royalty fee in all honesty, though, because 10% isn't very much, especially when that's what the whole game rides on. And then also in the sense of sports teams, they may have an exclusivity clause with EA, which stops you from breaking into the market in its entirety, which is awful that that's happening. But I also get it from EA's perspective. You know, finders keepers, losers weepers sort of mentality, I guess. I don't know, it's their cash cow, so they do what they do. Up. I need to do that. Okay. That's part of, that's horrible for the racing game market. Oh yeah, absolutely. You want to talk about racing games? You got to get, the rights to use the likeness for each and every racer. You need to get their sponsors on board as well. Otherwise, like, if you don't get Red Bull on there, then you can't have, is it Max Verstappen that races in the Red Bull F1 car? But you got to get Red Bull on board as well. Then you got to get, then you got to get Formula One also to sign on. And then you got to get all of the other sponsors. And, like, it is a mess. It is a proper mess to get all of that put together. Now, a lot of them will be okay with it as long as you're, as long as you pay them a fair price, but it's still, you gotta make sure you get every single thing, and you gotta make sure that you get every agreement properly written and signed, because you mess up one thing and somebody's coming at you with a lawsuit immediately. As for racing games, I meant car brands, though. Oh yeah, that's also true. I mean, look at Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Honda, BMW, Ferrari, Lamborghini. You know, you gotta go down the whole list for every single brand, but then also every make and model. And depending on how in-depth the racing game is, it may even let you choose your tires, which means you have to get licensing from Goodyear and from Firestone. Is that the name? I think. You know, there's a lot of different names that you got to go out and seek licensing deals, and then they also have their own stipulations about how you use their vehicles as well. Some of them really don't like being the worst tires, even though they would be, statistically speaking, in a realistic sense, they are the worst set of tires. It's, companies are a pain in the butt to work with. I do not want to work with companies ever if I can avoid it. My dream for Omnia is that we don't need to pull any licensing deals. It's just like non-stop. We develop our own things. I will make my own companies in game to make that all work. Like, it will be okay. Although if a company wanted to sponsor and have a vehicle inside the game, I wouldn't say no to having, you know, a couple of generous companies who may want to be in the game. You know, we can work something out. Contact me. But have to run, my friend. Have an awesome stream. Thank you very much, JMO. Appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your night as well. Thank you again for the raid. forced monopoly, bro. Oh, absolutely it is. You will not hear any argument from me on that. There's just not a good way to break into the market. Best way you could do it in the professional sense for sports games, the XFL, I don't believe they have a licensing deal with anybody right now. So you could try to make a game using XFL teams and try to get a licensing deal with them. They may even pour some money into it early on, and then you just pay them back as a loan. I don't know if that would work or not, though. Sometimes they go, well, if we're putting this much money into a startup, why don't we just do it ourselves, kind of deal. But it's not profitable for them in that sense. But it would be a great marketing tool for them, that's for sure. Because the truth of the matter is, once you have the system set up, you don't have to do anything to the game. You're just retexturing it, basically, to fit whatever, you know, brands you're using. So, in the sense of Madden NFL, you know, it's using NFL teams. But EA's college football game, it's just a different texture pack, basically, but it's a similar concept. Now, they actually did do some other things with, like, the career mode, but, you know, overall, the base mechanics don't change, so you can just copy-paste it between each and every game if you wanted. So it wouldn't be hard for somebody to break in that sense, especially if you were just trying to pitch it to somebody. I don't know. I'd have to think about that if I wanted to get into it, but I do think there are some, ins, but it is basically a forced monopoly, like you said. Hello, Al. Welcome on in. Thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. I've been doing well. How have you been, dude? It's good to see you. I forgot about Omnia. Omnia is great, dude. I have been working on it a little bit lately. The branding is almost done. I'm hoping they get it done by the end of this week, but you guys have heard me say that 100 times before, so I'm not going to hold my breath on that. But it is something that I have been working on for the little bit. Today and yesterday and the day before that and the day before that and the day before that. Welcome on in, Raiders. Hope you're doing well. How's it going, Emerald's Ace? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. What were you guys up to today, if you don't mind me asking? If you guys haven't already, be sure to follow Emerald's Ace. They were last playing some Minecraft. Go give them a check. They are a member also here on the Twitch SMP. And phenomenal streamer. I have lurked over there a couple of times. I get distracted a lot watching various streamers, but Emerald's Ace is one of those streamers as well. There's lots of Pokemon content to be had over there as well. So if that's something that interests you, definitely go check them out. I was thinking about what would happen with the market if there were not licensing. Like, if you could put any brands on your game with no licensing. Oh, dude, the whole market would change. You'd have so many people immediately jumping in on things like the sports industry, or even in like shooters, for example. If you wanted to have a realistic game about World War, you want to make sure that, like, you have licensing for Jeep, you have licensing for you know, every single rifle company, and you want to make sure that, you know, it's ultimately as realistic as possible. If you didn't have to deal with licensing, it would be a magical experience. It would be game developers' like dream, absolutely. And to some degree, I kind of wish that they didn't require licensing because it is free marketing for a lot of these companies, and yet they charge you to use their likeness and all of that. And I get that's because of the trademarks and the imagery is all theirs, and if you're ultimately making money off of their product, then like they should get some kickback. I get that to an extent, but at the same time, like I said, it is free marketing for them. So I don't know where I'm at on that one. I'm kind of a little bit lost in between. Raiding and running today, but Dome looks awesome. Thank you very much, Emerald. I appreciate it. Thank you again for the raid. Go do what you gotta do. Appreciate you for coming in, though. Boom, boom, boom. Hello, Coral. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Bop. Bop. Thank you for submitting your taxes. Appreciate it. Double raid? Unintentional double raid, but yes, there was a double raid. We had JMO come in with a large party. I don't even remember the number, but it was pretty large. And then Emerald here as well. So we have had a few raids already today within the first 35 minutes of the stream. Absolutely incredible. Thank you guys for the support. Appreciate it. Can't do it without you, honestly. I wasn't here yesterday, so did you listen to the new album? I have not listened to it yet. I saw some of the lyrics and I was like, oh no, she's trying to pull a Sabrina Carpenter. So I haven't listened to any of it. I really am worried. Because I was kind of hoping it would be a little different. I don't know. I heard The Fate of Ophelia is like the top rated song on her album. So I am going to listen to that one at least at some point in time, but I'm trying to determine when's going to be a good time for me to listen, because I want to enjoy it. But I also know the chances of me enjoying it is only hindered if I'm listening to it in a bad mood. How's the top rated one? That's bad then. All I know is that one was like at the top of the charts for a while. Like the first day it came out, it went right up to the top. So, more than likely, yes, that is her probably top rated song. Let's see. I hate it joking, sorta. I'm joking. I saw the first song and it was let's see. What songs did you not like her? I only like 4 of them. Wasn't her greatest. I like the first 4 tracks. The rest were meh. Okay. I will have to check out the album at some point. I may listen to it tonight. I may listen to it tomorrow. I don't know. I just got my playlist for all of my new to me songs. Like every song that people have told me to listen to. I just got it down to 300 songs. It started at the beginning of the year, like full. Like we were talking... I think it was over 1,000 at the beginning of this year. It may have not been, but I've been trying to slowly but surely get it down to being 0. Ideally, it stops at least at 100. So I've been trying to like quickly listen to more and more music just to get it closer to being at the end of the goal. But I've listened to a lot of different music over the years because of that. Music that I wouldn't have otherwise listened to. Like German rap. That was a thing I have listened to because somebody suggested it. And I didn't really love it, but I'm glad I did try. You know, I try to listen to a lot of different musics. So I'm gonna try to listen to some Taylor Swift. Life of a Showgirl soon-ish and see what we think. I think it'll be at least a somewhat good experience, hopefully. Not really a good place to put some of this. Like, I have to actually break and place blocks. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't listened to her stuff yet. I just saw some of the lyrics and I don't know. not in love with it. Apparently, Taylor Swift also threw some shade to Charlie XCX. I don't like Charlie at all. And I don't really know for sure if that's the case with what Taylor did. I don't know. But I thought she was mostly done with beefing with people after Speak Now, but, you know, it seems like she's still got beef with a lot of people. I don't know, Charlie really is cool. I didn't get the whole Brat Summer thing. I'm gonna be honest. Other King, how goes it? Hello, Jinx. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. It goes pretty good. We're just building some, well, we're building a big dome right now. And, it's just about done, really. Where's the button? Hang on. Hang on. There we go. We're 38% left to do. So, you know, we're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad. And once this is done, then I can actually decorate the inside of the dome so that it looks kind of cool. And nobody will make fun of me for building a bad base or anything like that. Well, you don't get 6-7 because it's dumb. I'm sorry, but it's just dumb. I can't understand stupid. And you know, that's just the way it goes. I'm sorry. Why is he placing and breaking glass? I have to place and break glass because I'm not using easy place, and that's a personal choice, but it does mean it makes it take a little bit longer here. Also, welcome on in, Spacecrafter. Hope you're doing well. 6-7 is the Da Vinci of this time period. What? I'm sorry, what? You're kidding. You're trolling. You have to be trolling. I'm still confused. You know, that's fair. We're building a big dome, and because I can't place blocks on a diagonal and there's nothing underneath it, I have to place a block so I can place other blocks, and then I break that one. 6-7 is just as beautiful as the Mona Lisa, if not even more beautiful. I don't know what 6-7 is besides an obvious meme. I'm so confused. I've got somebody on my Twitch chat who's like defending 6-7, and I'm scared. I've done a half circle like this, and it is pain. It is painstaking. Yeah, it is. It is. Oof. Luckily, we haven't been doing it too long. But I could definitely get how this would be so tiresome for a lot of people. I'm lucky enough to have a chat here to talk to me about it. So it's been good to be able to pass the time at least. But it is quite the ordeal. Get the glass building a bit now. Any of those blocks must be a pain. Oh, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. Thankfully, I just have to watch where the glass says to go because I'm using a mod. But if I were not using Lightmatica, I would be in trouble. I could not dare try this without Lightmatica. Hello, Okie dokie. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Hello, hello. Ba-ba-bum. Ba. Ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. Ba. Ba. do need to check something here in a second. So like, give me 1 second. Bop. Okay. Dude, just a heads up, guys. There will be ads on the Twitch side in about 8 minutes. I know. I suck. And Twitch sucks too. So, that all said, you know, there'll be a pop-up that says, hey, skip the ads using YouTube, and you guys will be fine. Or just stay on Twitch side. I don't mind. Either way, I make money if you guys watch the ads. And if you don't watch the ads, then I get YouTube watch time, which puts me a little closer to making some more money on YouTube, which is always nice. And then I can turn around and take that and make better videos and better streams and all those cool things. Or subscribe for no ads. I mean, if everybody's got a Twitch Prime sub here, then, you know, we could really make short work of these ads. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. How long have you been building on the dome, Minecraft days, and IRL time? The dome itself, I've only been doing for probably, I don't know, what do you guys think? Maybe a week? 2 weeks? Something like that. So I only stream this server twice a week. So, you know, only a couple of days. So really, it's only been a few hours that I've done this. And I can tell you how much time I've been building and digging in general. Time played. I've played on this world for 9.34 real-life days, which, when translated to hours, would be 9.34 times 24. That would be 224.16 hours. So, you know, that includes that little crappy base over there, which was just early setup. That includes draining this area, digging the area, and building this dome. The dome is like less than 20 hours of that time, though. Nathan. We love Nathan here, dude. Nathan's great. I am. How about you? Just want to say hello before I go to bed. No worries. Go get some sleep. I'm doing well though. I'm doing well. I'm glad to hear that you're there and you're hanging around. I'm doing well though. I'm pretty tired as always, but I'm chilling. At least you're honest about making money. I hate when people are like, no, I'm not making money of the obvious placed ads. Like, shut up. Yeah, honestly, I hate that because everybody knows that they make money off of ads. I don't make any ad money off of YouTube. If you guys watch ads on YouTube, it's YouTube making money, not me. However, I am working towards getting that so that we can make a little bit more. Not necessarily to maximize income. I don't want to like nickel and dime people. I don't want to bombard you guys with ads, but it does make life a little less stressful. Trying to make ends meet until I get a job at least. However, you know, I am working my way towards that path, which we're not that far. I believe I'm 450 hours of watch time away. So by December, I should have that done, and we'll be good. We'll be chilling. But again, I don't want to nickel and dime people. I don't want to sit here and say like, aha, I'm going to make you guys watch 12 ads now. Like, that's gross. That's gross behavior right there. That is bad. That's just bad. I'm sorry, but no. Follow-up question to the building question. Do you sleep? Yes, I do. Not as much as I probably... Well, no, actually, I sleep more than I should now. I used to not sleep much, but nowadays I'm sleeping about 9 hours a day. Maybe a little bit less than that, maybe a little bit more, you know, give or take 9 hours. but I spend a lot of time working on things. So that might look like building. It might it might be videos. It may be streams. It may be working on my video game. So I've been developing a video game as well on the side. I am always staying busy, so it's been nice. And then I will say, because I think it's unrealistic for everybody to work all the time, I do take time off. I'm not just working. That's bad for you. And I want to set a good example for anybody out there. I do take time off. Saturdays and Sundays, I'm usually doing a whole lot of nothing. Saturdays, I do some things. Sundays, I do almost absolutely nothing. I just play a couple of video games for fun. Maybe I do a thumbnail at most. That's like 10 minutes of work, though. And I usually wait till after midnight just so I can say I did nothing Sunday. So, you know, it's good to take time off. Just do it for yourself, guys. Working all the time is bad for you. Why is Duolingo on Twitch now? Also, hi, hello, Flames. It's good to see you. Duolingo is doing some sort of sponsored deal with Twitch. So if you subscribe to a channel that you've never subscribed to, I believe that might be the terms. I believe it is. Then you get 3 months of Duolingo Plus, which is actually a pretty good deal, I think. But that's only if you use Duolingo. If you don't use Duolingo, then it's kind of useless, I guess. He is my hero. One day I want to grow up and be like Nafan. That's fair. Me too. Me too. Hello, Krish. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. I only get 5 and I'm old. Sleep when you're dead. You know, that's fair. I used to sleep like only 3 hours a night for the longest time. And that killed me, dude. I don't know what I was thinking doing that. But I did that and it caught up to me. And now I'm like dying physically. Okay, I should clarify. Not like actually dying physically, but my physical health has deteriorated to a point where we don't know what's wrong. That's about as much as I can say on that. Because, again, I don't know what's wrong. The doctors don't. And they don't seem to be in any rush to figure it out. So, we're chilling with that. We're chilling with that. But 5 hours of sleep ain't too bad. I remember functioning so well on 5 hours. I miss when I could do that. I really do. Because, man, I could do so much work on my video game. I could do so much more videos. I could do longer streams. Shoot. I could look at other job shifts because the current ones kind of suck. Well, they suck in the sense that everybody else wants them, so I don't. It's a smaller pool, or a larger pool of people applying for the same job, which overall just means that you're kind of screwed because it's saturated. Hello, XY. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Also, are you reinforcing the glass because it turns from light/normal shade to a darker one? I'm using a mod called Lightmatica, so it makes a hologram of where I need to put all the glass, and then I just put it there so that it actually is present. Otherwise, I don't have anything to go off of. So this is just how I see what blocks the place for a sphere. It's very helpful for big, complicated shapes like this. That's what I mostly use it for. Otherwise, I wouldn't be using it at all. But these are essentially just ghost blocks. They don't exist. I could walk right through them. But it gives me a great place to kind of work from so that I know where I'm going. You're older than me, though. Mentally, I'm 5. I think you wear a cape IRL. Oh, that's actually good. You know, we should bring back capes. Like, hear me out, guys. Why are we not wearing capes? Capes and cloaks. I think that would be amazing. I would wear a cape. I say that. I would not wear a cape. I don't want people looking at me like I'm weird. But if everybody else wanted to do it, then I would totally be down to do it as well. Gosh. The only time that I never actually, when I just did what I wanted to do, and everybody else followed trend was, I started wearing flannels before they became really cool again. And now everybody has a flannel in their closet. But I loved flannels before that. Like, I genuinely just have always loved them. And so, it makes me proud to say I kind of adopted that style before everybody else. That was the only time I was like full on not following any trends. I just did what I wanted to do. D&D IRL, heck yeah. Now we're talking. I haven't ever actually played D&D. I want to at some point. I just haven't ever played, and I don't have like a group to play with yet. But one day I would love to. That would be cool. Although I don't really have time either. That's an excuse. I refuse to make time. There we go. That's a better way to phrase it. Ultimately, you will have time for the things that you really, truly want to do. It's just, I have so many things that I really, truly want to do that D&D just doesn't make that list, sadly. My teacher told us today that permanent brain damage is very possible from not sleeping enough. Oh, it definitely is. If you guys look into the statistics, it's scary. It is terrifying. I've looked into it a little bit myself, and I know there is a certain amount of damages that I have caused due to my not sleeping. But some of that is also caused by other external issues that influence my sleep as well. So even like the 3 hours, if you're not recharging during those 3 hours at all or not properly, that also further adds to the damages. So I wouldn't have been nearly as bad now if back then I wasn't. Oh, I thought I was gonna pick it up. Can't see. I cannot see. But yeah, I really wish I had cared about my overall physical health a little bit more growing up. Because my brain plasticity sucks now. I'm gonna log off for a second while the server restarts. Such a cool mod, and now I understand the glass building. Heck yeah. Let's go. Yeah, Lightmatica is a great mod. Great mod. Auto-modded again? Oh no. Let me see. Oop. Oh, I see. There you go. Don't know why that one got caught. I'm sorry, dude. Boop. 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 Okay. Did you auto mods me for saying nothing bad then lets messages through that should be banned? Oh, it was bad. Explains why I acted like 5. I watched all the ads for the king. I appreciate it, Jinxer. You didn't need to do that, but I appreciate you, dude. Curious question. I can tell you're on Java, but do you also own Bedrock? Yes, I've owned Bedrock since I bought Java. They were running a deal back in 2017, maybe, when I bought Java. I think that's when it was. But they allowed you to get both in the same go, and so I went ahead and bought it then. Nowadays, it comes with that by default again, but it was a short-run deal to get people playing Bedrock Edition before, or when it first came out, which is awesome. So I do own Bedrock, yes. Doesn't bit awkward walking around in a cape and underpants, but it doesn't stop me. I respect it. I respect it. It looks like it's back up. Huh. That's a new picture of Nafan, yeah. I love thinking about Nafan in his underpants. Who doesn't? Oh boy. Oh. I heard about the 2-in-1 deal. I own Bedrock first, so I couldn't do the deal. Oof. I'm sorry, dude. Yeah, I wish it worked in reverse too. But I guess they probably much prefer that people play Bedrock than Java. Which I get to an extent. Microsoft wants to make money off of their product. The only way to keep making money because they don't charge for updates is to have Marketplace, and the only way to have Marketplace is to have Bedrock. I don't know. I really don't love the Marketplace. I get why it exists. And I mean, Bedrock is just better put together in terms of transactions. So things like Realms, it's a lot better marketed on Bedrock Edition than it is Java. So it makes sense why they're pushing people towards Bedrock. It's just also a little frustrating as a predominantly Java user to see them not phase out the game, but kind of scoop it under the rug a little bit more so that not as many people play it. I don't know. And the British accent. Exactly, it ties it all together. British accent really helps with the underpants. It's just, you know, I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, I own both now, but play Java basically almost never because I only own a gaming laptop and that drains so much power. That's fair. Bedrock is a lot better optimized than Java as well. So if you were to ever play on a gaming laptop, Bedrock would have to be the choice because it's just better optimized. That's one thing I'm really jealous of for Bedrock players. Java will never, ever, ever be nearly as good in terms of performance as Bedrock is because of the fact that it's running off of Java. Java is not a great code base. It's a good code base, but it's not optimized. You know, you'd be better off having Java Edition if it were coded through Python. Then you'd have like a really good, really good, really solid frame rate, solid chunk loading. Everything would be perfect. But you know, Java just doesn't hold a candle to, I believe it's C++ is what Minecraft Bedrock Edition runs on. I could be incorrect on that. Somebody could fact check me if they want. I will not say no to some correction there. However, as a byproduct of that as well, it's less moddable. That's one of the other reasons why Bedrock is not my favorite. I don't play any of the crazy mod packs, but I do like having, you know, the ability to have my own shaders, which is coming soon. You know, there will be vibrant visuals. I like having my sounds mod so that glass sounds fancy and I can scroll through and it makes different Minecraft sounds for each thing. You know, those are small things, but they don't exist on Bedrock Edition. Now, there are ways to get it on Bedrock, but it's a little different. To make them is very different, so it's not the same process as you would for other games that you would probably look into modding. Plus server plugins. Oh my goodness. The lack of plugins for Bedrock is scary. And data packs for Java, I love that too. Anyway, I need to stop rambling about that. I bought a few marketplace items, and Java basically doesn't promote servers at all. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And I don't blame people for buying marketplace items. I think marketplace actually has a couple of cool things on there. I think ultimately it's up to preference. If you think it's worth spending money on, then absolutely, by all means, go do it. Like, that's awesome. I just personally haven't been able to justify it, but I do respect it a lot. Especially some of those, like, DLCs where they get really all out, you know? I heard, like, I don't know anything about Hello Kitty, but I love the soundtrack for it. I use it for some of my videos. The Hello Kitty DLC was apparently a really well done one that a lot of people bought, and it seems to be pretty worth it, at least from what people were saying. It was fun enough to play. Which is awesome, and I think that's ultimately one of the coolest parts about the marketplace. Also, the fact that it allows people to make it their whole job to develop stuff for Minecraft, like little add-ons and skin packs and such. It opens up a whole job market opportunity, and I think that's really cool. Yeah, if it was an American, blue lights and time in jail, British accent. Yep, that checks out. Carry on. Yep, sounds about right. The British accent probably gets you out of a lot of bad places, I'd imagine. C++ is correct. I believe it is C++. Awesome. Yeah, I remember a little bit about it because I remember being confused when Bedrock Edition did come out, which version was which, especially when they were moving consoles to being Bedrock. It was a confusing, it was a confusing thing to me, so I spent a lot of time watching videos comparing the two versions, and I seemed to remember that being the case, but I wasn't 100% certain, so it's good to know. C++. I put together my own Mac with a tablet, wireless mouse, and keyboard, and that works really well. That's awesome. That is really, really cool. I saw the Dragon Ball Z teaser for Bedrock. It has me slightly interested. I thought that was a really interesting concept. It's not something I'm personally interested in myself, because I watched Dragon Ball Z when I was a kid. I watched it with my brother, but that would have been like over 10 years ago, and I never stayed up to date with it. I never really got super into it either. That was what my brother was watching, and so I'd watch it with him. So it's not necessarily something that I am attracted to, I suppose. But it is something that I think is really neat in concept, and so I am curious how that'll go. If it's done well, it'd be cool. That's my big thing. I mean, it looked like they were doing some really cool things. I don't know, you know, in the teaser they had the dragon and the Dragon Balls there, which was a really cool animation. But how much of that is going to be in the actual gameplay? What is it gonna what is that all gonna entail? I don't know. But I think it's awesome. I think it's a cool concept, and I hope it's enjoyable, especially for Dragon Ball Z fans, because you guys deserve a little something, you know? It's not my cup of tea, but I love seeing other people get things that they like and that they enjoy. I am Steve. Spotted the Steve movie plushie on your bed? Yes. He's a great guy. He's a lovely companion, okay? He's... I've actually talked to him on numerous occasions. You know, when you're coding and developing things, some people have rubber ducks, which I also have. Here's one of them. But some people talk to these and they're like, okay, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make space-time continuum, but in Minecraft. And so these are the steps I'm following. And then like you explain it like it's a 5-year-old and you're trying to explain the problem to it, and then you'll magically come up with a solution. I do that with Steve sometimes too. I've never tried to do the space-time continuum in Minecraft. That sounds like a nightmare. You could do it though. You could technically, I guess, do it. I don't know. Being that Mojang has a hand in it, I have a slight hope for it. Yes. Yes, I definitely agree with that. Mojang definitely puts some hope into those sorts of things. They, you know, they have an attention to detail that not a lot of other companies have. The question is just how much are they willing to put into it to keep it true to the lore, you know? Are they gonna dumb down any of it because it's quote-unquote violent, you know? Are they gonna dumb down any of it because it's, you know... Dragon Ball Z was an interesting show. I seem to remember there being like an old guy who had, how do I put this? How do I put this? He was a little interesting. He was a little interesting. That's the best way to put that, I think. But I don't think they'd have any reason to have him in the DLC, so that's not like a problem or anything. There's probably a second movie coming out, supposed to be a prequel, but we're not sure yet. Okay, I see. I would actually prefer to see them do a sequel. Although I don't know how that would work because, you know, the way the last movie ended, the first movie ended, it left room for them to do a sequel, but where is it supposed to go exactly, you know? The obvious step would be instead of them going into the game comes to them, sort of deal. But, you know, that's as much as I can say. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. Although the movie's been out for a long time, so I probably could talk about it. I have a lot of thoughts on the Minecraft movie, and I kind of want to make a whole video about what I would like to see as a sequel. But I don't know if it would be an interesting enough video for people or not. I don't know. As somebody who's been playing Minecraft for 13 years, I feel like I should have at least somewhat of a decent opinion for a Minecraft movie too. Oh. Master Roshi likes his ladies. That's the perfect way to say that. Thank you. Thank you, Jinx. Yes, that. That is absolutely correct. And you know, who can blame him? I love women too. Women are great. Bump. Up. Settled, you're a nerd. No judgment. I like space in the universe too. Oh, dude, I am such a nerd. Oh, man. I'm such a nerd, in fact, that I am making a game about space exploration. And I'm trying to make it as scientifically accurate as I can in the sense of, you know, every planet has its own gravity field, and that gravity field exists because of the range, the gravitational field is there because of the magnetic field, but it also is because of the centrifugal forces, and the and that's caused by the orbit of the planet as well as the moon pulling the planet in a certain direction, which would cause the tides to move and all that. It's super specific, but for people who are stupidly nerdy, they can appreciate that small detail that probably takes up 10% of your computing power right there. I love how that would work theoretically, and a lot of it is easy enough math if you just plug it into a calculator. So I don't have to do like a stupid amount of work to it. I just gotta fake it till I make it sort of deal. I love space though, and so I really do want to try to show people what an intergalactic species would look like in terms of humanity. You know, if we did reach the stars and we did go and travel around, you know, cell phones, if you're 1 light year away from somebody, you're not going to be talking to somebody in real time. That's just not how that works. There's no way to do that. So, you know, you can't necessarily travel super far away and call somebody. They have to be within a certain distance, and there's going to be certain delays to that, which is really exciting. Now, there may be some way that I can kind of bullcrap my way through it to allow people to communicate longer distances, but you know, that was one of my big gripes about a lot of games that I've played, Starfield in specific. You never could call anyone. You had to walk all the way up to them. And it was like, on Planet Side, surely you could call them. I mean, I call my friends from across the world all the time, and there's only a little bit of delay. Surely I could call somebody, but no, you have to talk to them in person. It's just, it bugged me a little bit. But it was how they stopped people from saying, like, well, what about calling from across the galaxy? That does not work. I'm sorry, that's like a little stupidly nerdy, and it's a sci-fi game at the end of the day, but I don't know. I think you guys probably, maybe none of you understand my frustration there, and that's completely and totally fair. But there's like that certain element of realism that I can't get enough of. And nobody else does it well, so I'll just do it better than everybody else. Anyway, I need to read. Or was it a sequel? I don't know, but probably something. Yes, more than likely. Any idea is better than the one they used. The film was rubbish. I wouldn't say it was outright rubbish. It was pretty much exactly what I expected, because it was, I don't know, you put Jack Black in a movie, you can usually expect exactly that. But I walked in with such low expectations that I was actually very pleasantly surprised. It also helped that I just had a positive experience when I went to go see it. You know, that definitely helped. So I tie it to a positive memory rather than just the movie itself. I will admit, watching the movie again at home, it was incredibly mid, but on the big screen, I found it really enjoyable. There was a lot of things that that just worked better on a large screen format rather than at home, which made me sad, because, you know, I really wanted to show it to my brother and let him enjoy it just the way I did, but it didn't quite hit him the same way it hit me, just because he was watching it on a smaller screen. So it was like, you know, could have been better. I don't know. I found it to be enjoyable enough. I do think the next movie should definitely be a little more, not super serious, but there should be a little bit more in terms of weight, I guess. It felt like the movie really didn't have any weight to it. It had a great life moral to it, a lesson to it, but it didn't have a... The character arcs weren't completely and totally fleshed out, in my opinion. It felt very much like they were just making a one-off movie, which is fine. And I'm sure that's probably what they were trying to do for the sake of, hey, if this flops, we don't want people begging us for another movie even though it would flop again. But at the same time, I just really wish that it... I don't know. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more just of everything, I think. Boop. Although I am hoping, I am hoping the Netflix, Disney, or Netflix, Disney, sorry, I'm just starting to list off, streaming services. I'm hoping the Netflix animated Minecraft show is going to be good. If it's not, I might cry. Because they have the perfect format for it to be something actually worthwhile. But it's also Netflix, so I'm not holding my breath on that. Doesn't look like there's any corners for me to build this off of. Wow. There's actually no corners. Well, crud. Okay. But yeah, I'm really hoping that one's good. We'll see. We will see. Too much science, nods along, pretending to understand. I've been playing Minecraft for 11 years now. That's awesome. That is awesome. They should have had Agnes as the main character. Would have been the best film ever. You know what? I kind of agree. I feel like they should have used the Minecraft cameos a little bit more. Jeb was a waiter in a restaurant scene. That was a really solid cameo, but I would have loved for him to have a speaking line. And maybe they did try it, but they felt like it was too forced, or maybe they felt like it just didn't land well because Jeb isn't an actor, he's a Minecraft developer. I don't know. But I would have loved to have seen the cameos be a little more there. I felt like they tried so hard for it to not be in your face that it almost missed the mark for me. You know, the first time I watched it, I didn't even realize I saw Mumbo Jumbo come across the screen. And there was a lot of cameos in that one scene that I just didn't realize until I had watched it again, or until I was talking to my friend about it. And they were like, "Oh, did you see this person?" I was like, "Oh, wait, what? I didn't see Dan. What?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, wait, that was Dan. He didn't look the way I remembered him though, because he didn't have hair." Dan looks a lot different than what I remember Dan looking. Man, Dan the Diamond Minecart. What happened? He grew up is what happened. Which isn't a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It's just... I remember when he, you know, had the hair and when he looked young. I just would have loved to have seen, like, more pop culture references about Minecraft, I guess. You know, had there been some sort of phrasing referring to Hermitcraft, had there been You know, they could have even said something about Dr. Treoris. You know, really obscure things even. Or even more large stuff to do with, like, Fallen Kingdom or any Captain Sparkles animation for that matter. Minecraft has got to say a huge thank you to Captain Sparkles. I'm sorry, but like, I mean, he basically wrote the concept for the Minecraft movie. So I mean, like, you know, that's just me. I don't know. I would have loved to have seen the cameos be a little more there. That's all. But otherwise, it was a good movie. I felt like it just... I could have used a little more fan service, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. I might be off my rocker a little bit. Anyway, I need to read. I'm sorry. Calling through space, we needed a lot of satellite solar charges. Satellite solar charges stay on forever in order to transfer any signal, and even then it would take an extremely long for a response. Absolutely, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Speaking of nerd, I read an article released by NASA about the Chinese Three Gorges Dam causing the world to tilt more and make days 0.006 longer. Really? Three Gorges, sorry. That is insane. I've never considered that to be a thing you could do, but yeah, you could feasibly tilt the world to make it have a longer day, or... Well, you couldn't necessarily shorten the day, I guess, unless you slow... Well... Depending on how you flow the water, you might be able to push it enough because of inertia that you could theoretically, and I would not dare try this because I feel like it's a bad idea, you could theoretically try to stop the rotation of the world by doing that. And holy cow, you want to talk about the most royal screw-up of the entirety of the universe? That right there would be that. Because I don't think it would self-correct. Oh boy, that's a scary thought. Anyway, I need to read more. Windows 10 about to be cooked. Done. Kaboom. Yup. Windows 10 is reaching the end of life. There will still be security updates for those of you who can enroll. However, those of you who are not enrolling, you will be in danger in about like 2 months or so. That's about how long I give it for the malware to catch up and eat your systems alive. So just you wait, or update to Windows 11 if you can, because Windows 10 is toast. They don't let the villagers news voice all the villagers. I won't watch the series. Please. Please, that would be amazing. I love villager news. I haven't watched it in forever, but I remember my entry into it would have been watching Minecon 2012. I think it was 2012. Was that London? Minecraft, Minecon London? Maybe? I think that was 2012. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong there, but I think I'm correct. But they did like a whole animation for that, and maybe it wasn't 2012. Hang on, I'm gonna Google it, because now I'm really curious. Or I'm gonna ask Siri, maybe. Hey Siri, when was Minecraft... Hey Siri, when was Minecon London? Not Minions, Minecon... Okay. When was Minecon London? 2015. Okay. I was off. When was Minecon? What was Minecon 2012 then? So 2010 would have been Minecraft Con, which was in Washington. And then Minecon, the first Minecon, was in 2011, which is at Las Vegas. Then there was one in 2012 at Disneyland Paris, which was in France. And then there was one in 2013 that was in Orlando. 2014 was canceled. And then in 2015, they had the London. And then in 2016, they did one in Anaheim, California. And then 2017 was when they moved to the live stream format. Okay. And then they were also going to be doing Minecraft Festival, which ended up just not happening. They announced it in 2020, but then COVID happened, and then they postponed it to 2021. Then 2021, they postponed it to 2022, and then 2022, they just canceled it. I don't know, why did they cancel it? They just stated that they canceled it because of COVID. In 2022, really? Huh. I kind of get it, but also I don't get it. By 2022, we were fine, mostly, kind of. I mean, like, it was still raging, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I feel like they could have done something. Or at the very least, just delayed it one more year. Because it would have been fine the very next year, I promise you. I'm so bummed out we don't have Minecraft Festival. That would have been great. Thank Dog, welcome on in, hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Villager News is now officially on the Minecraft account because they're so good. Their own channel hasn't posted in a while, as far as I remember. Dang. It's crazy, though. The insanity that their career has had. I mean, that is awesome. That is awesome. Something about the mass of the water they held and changed the rotation. That is insane. That is a lot of water. Like, a lot of water. Hey, King, do you know what a chicken star is? No. No, I don't. Is it like a ninja star, but chicken? Like, I don't know. This is where it gets really annoying. Oh. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? Let's look at the weather really quick. How are we doing? If you guys didn't see that, my lights just flickered like a lot. You know, it's probably fine. If I disappear for like longer than 5 to 10 minutes, then expect me not to come back. The power probably went out. That's usually what I tell people. Yeah. Flickered here too? Yeah, I bet. Hey, Eggnog, how you doing? I'm doing well. How are you doing, Juan? It's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. All that science stuff and you come up with Ninja Chicken Star. I think that's great. I think that's great. Ghosts, yeah, you know, we gotta play more Phasmophobia, man. I need to get like a group together for it or something, because I'm too big of a baby to play it alone. But, you know, it's the perfect time of the year to play more Phas, and I just haven't. I don't think I've played since last year, in all honesty. I mean, I could tell you. Hang on. Steam has a great feature where it tells you when the last time you played was. I played October 8th, 2024. Almost a year ago. Oh, no. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh. YouTube has no context to this. I was just gifted a tier 3 sub by Juanito to Admiral, and it plays. You can't see the lovely visual that it is, but it has a deep fake of bald me singing Baka Mitai, and oh man, is that great. I'm going out swinging toy soldiers, dipping dots, fun size bars, slip and slides, fart noises, chicken start. What? Well, I'm going to Google this. Is this even something I should be saying? Chicken stars. It's a meme? It's a meme from one day ago. What? This is literally a day ago. Origin. On November 21st, 2023, the animated film Leo was released on Netflix for streaming. Film centers on a class pet lizard named Leo, voiced by Adam Sandler. That sounds amazing. Trying to escape the classroom. The film features multiple musical numbers, including the song called Last Year. The second verse in the song features a character, Cole, who sings, I'm gonna go out swinging, toy soldiers, dipping dots, fun-sized bars, slip and slides, fart noises, chicken stars, until they yell, tell me to stop. That's interesting. That is really interesting. On October 5th, 2025, TikToker at niche.memes.lol shared a video that was similar to the original because it added a text overlay caption that called chicken stars a niche meme. It also added multiple flame explosion effects from CapCut, similar to the Eye of Ra meme, that received over 405,700 likes in a day. Wow. So that's just how the meme started. Wow, okay. I've never been so OG to knowing what a meme is. Wow. Literally hot off the press. Not even. It's still on the griddle. Like, what the heck? See, I've been dying to play some Phasmophobia. King, tomorrow's October 8th. You have the opportunity to do something so funny. I think the last time I played was with that one guy. I think. It would be really funny to do it 1 year later. I'm just saying, there's like a really good chance I do play it, you know? I think my first time was actually not too long ago, a year earlier as well. Back to a year ago. Goodness, you have the opportunity to do something so funny. Music my ears. Thank you, my friend. Admiral streams not yet. Are you wanting to stream, Admiral? I can help you. I saw it and heard it. Scarred. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fresh off the oven. The movie is peak, and the clip is peak. I'll check it out. Be really funny. The jokes are so funny. I can make I'm free tomorrow. Just saying it would be funny, like the irony of that concept. I don't know if I should, because I really don't like streaming on Wednesdays. But that's the best day for me to stream something not Minecraft, because otherwise everything else is Minecraft, you know? I'm not saying I'm doing it, but there's a chance maybe I do like a small 1 hour just for the memes Phasmophobia stream on Twitch only. Maybe. Possibly. Anyway. Maybe one day too busy right now. That's fair. That is fair. But hey Osus, how's it going, dude? Automod hates me? What did you say? I'll allow it. I'll allow it. You know... It's funny that Automod caught that. Caught that, but not what the fans said. That's the crazy thing. Thank you for submitting your taxes as well. Appreciate it. Easy workaround for this, you like Min. If Min is the name of your mom, then, yeah. Yeah, Automod big fail that time. I'm just still in shock on that, honestly. Here we go, my chat. You know, I wouldn't have you guys any other way. The projection is crazy, but you know, I respect it, you know? I love women. Women are great. Boys are just boys, you know? There's something. I've determined something, okay? This is like not at all related to anything, but I've determined something. The difference between boys and men, okay? You ready for this? Why did I do that? The difference between boys and men, okay? Boys pee all over the toilet. Men pee only in the toilet, okay? And there is a huge difference. If you can't pee inside of the toilet, you got issues, okay? That's what makes you a boy. That's the only thing holding you back. If you can pee inside the bowl, it's not even that hard, okay? I assure you, it's not. Then you can be a man. I will happily print out the man card for you if you can pee inside of the toilet bowl. But if there's so much as a droplet outside of the toilet, then we're having trouble. What if you sit down? Then, like, you're golden, dude. Like, unless you're getting it outside of the bowl, in which case, you have a talent. You have a talent. You may not be a man, but you have a talent. Oh, boy. Actually, well... No, you have a talent. Like, you have to want to do that. Which is probably the more scary part about that. Hear me out, a cute boy in a skirt. You can't tell as a boy. Oh boy, because I like wearing skirts, but I very much hit the water. Hey, if you're hitting the water, then, you know, that's solid. That's good. I'm proud of you. Swift too. Why would you say... You know what? I'm proud of you. You say what you want to say. You tell me your truth. I'm not reading it, though. You can tell Swift too. Ads, yay? Oh boy, ads. Love that for you guys. You may not be a man, but you have now. No context. That sounds really bad. That does sound bad. Yikes. That sounds really bad. It annoys me Christopher Columbus Day isn't on the day he landed in America, because that's tomorrow. Yeah, why isn't that? Why isn't Columbus Day on the day that he landed in America? That doesn't make any sense. Huh. I'm really curious. Wait, hang on. Why is Columbus Day not on the day Columbus landed on America? Columbus Day is not on October 12th because the U.S. Congress moved the federal holiday to the second Monday in October in 1971 to create a long weekend for workers. Originally, many states observed the holiday on October 12th, the actual date of Columbus's landing in the Americas in 1492. But the shift to a consistent Monday was made for pragmatic reasons. Fair enough. I kind of get that, and I respect it. That's fair. That is fair. I'm not gonna finish this bit. Oh boy. Christopher Columbus always being on second Monday makes more sense, and the more annoying part. Christopher Columbus didn't discover America. He didn't discover it, no. But technically speaking, like, nothing was discovered as well. In the sense of, like, land where people already existed. It's just about who's writing the history that quote-unquote discovers it. So because of the fact of where a lot of that historical data comes from, Christopher Columbus is the guy that everybody had to think in the case of, like, the English knowing where it was and such. Now that we're much more well-informed, yes, we know Christopher Columbus did not find it. It was more than likely the Vikings, and you can thank Leif Erikson. Actually, I don't think it was... Was it Leif Erikson? Or did he discover... No, he discovered Greenland and Iceland? Maybe? Possibly? I don't know. Leif Erikson, hang on. Who was Leif Erikson? Okay, that's a different guy than what I'm thinking of. Wait, hold on. Leif Erikson. No, I am thinking of Leif. What? There's an actor by the name as well. Okay, he was... No, I was right. I was right. Okay. He is thought to be the first European to set foot on continental America approximately half a millennium before Christopher Columbus. According to the sagas of Icelanders, he established a Norse settlement at Vinland, which is usually interpreted as being coastal North America. There is ongoing speculation that the settlement made by Leif and his crew corresponds to the remains of a Norse settlement found in Newfoundland, Canada, called L'Anse aux Meadows. I don't know, probably, which was occupied approximately 1,000 years ago. Leif's place of birth was unknown, although it is assumed to have been Iceland. His father, Eric the Red, founded the first Norse settlement in Greenland, where Leif was later raised. I knew he was connected! I knew he was connected! I knew it! Stupid that I know some of that stuff. I don't know why I do. That was like 3rd grade stuff. Like, okay, I would have been what? Probably no older than 7? Gosh. I love that. I love that. Eric the Red. We love Eric. Eric is great. And Christopher Columbus always being on the second Monday makes more sense. And more than player, the Vikings did. Any excuse for a day off work? Heck yeah, love that. I should take Columbus Day off. I should do it. He also didn't discover America because for his entire life he thought he was in India, hence why he called the people there Indians. Yep. Wasn't it like to find a better route for spice trading or something? Or am I thinking of Magellan? No, Magellan was the first one to circumnavigate the globe, right? He was like, hey dudes, the planet is a sphere, and I'm gonna prove it by sailing in one direction, right? Or am I wrong? I'm not Googling it because I need to finish building this. Somebody else can correct me. He literally came across America, found people already here, and said, I'm the first one here. Exactly. So how did we get to Vikings? We were talking about Christopher Columbus, and then we were like, oh yeah. Actually, the Vikings discovered North America. At least they were the first Europeans from America to be here. And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. But, Christopher Columbus being a fraud. Oh, we love frauds here. We're a Minecraft. If Christopher Columbus was born today, he'd be a Minecraft YouTuber, okay, guys? Like, let's just be real for a second. Fraud is, like, so rampant in the Minecraft YouTube community, so it wouldn't even surprise me. He was just the Minecraft YouTuber of his day. In more ways than one, probably, if we're honest. SpongeBob taught me that. I'd never have seen a full episode of SpongeBob. And everybody acts like I'm a monster for that. But if I'm honest, I just can't stand SpongeBob's voice. If I'm completely and totally honest. Maybe it's like an exposure therapy thing. After you hear it so long, you get used to it and it's fine. But, I've tried. I have tried. I just can't stand his voice. Now, as a kid, I probably could have, and then maybe as an adult, I would have been able to. But my parents, they didn't like SpongeBob either as adults. So, it was outlawed in our house. And, oof. Would not dare break that law. My parents really had a disdain for him. And you know, I kind of get it now that I'm old. I'm old and wrinkly, and I'm like, you know, some of the other things they let us watch they probably shouldn't have. But, you know, SpongeBob, I can't do the voice. I just can't. But no judgment to people who can. I think it's awesome that you guys enjoy things. I just wish I could enjoy it too. I really do. Also, Christopher Columbus, I think, set off a chain of events which led to slavery in America. Slavery in America was set off by people selling people in other countries. It was a problem elsewhere before it was even in America. So, like, technically, yes, but also, like, not really. People have been buying and selling people for centuries. Longer than that, millennia. There we go. Oh my. Silly voice. Oh, which silly voice do you want in a fan? Which silly voice do you want, and how bad is this gonna be while I'm reading these chats? Because, oh boy, this is gonna be an interesting topic. Just this once, I'm still saving. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, Magellan wasn't the first person to circle the Earth. This might be news to me, possibly. So he died before the ship got there. That's true. David Attenborough. So you want me to do my, like, British accent? He's British, right? Pretty sure. David Attenborough, right? British man, yes. Okay. Let me just, like, quickly videos, and I just want to hear his voice, because I gotta remember.
Video,
oh, that's loud. Okay. I just need to get, like, a feel for his voice here.
We can barely imagine a way.
We can barely imagine. He's kind of got that bright sounding British voice. He's very happy. Hey Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Alrighty, we are going to be talking about slavery. What a topic to have. Oh, that is not good. We cannot be doing that. He has all the wildlife stuff. Soft, assertive voice. Soft, assertive voice. He sounds very friendly. Almost, Do you write your W's soft or spiky? I write mine spiky personally, because that's how we type them. They have a little bit of a spike. However, I have seen some people do a little bit of a soft, like a double U. A true W instead of a double V. However, I personally prefer a double V. It's more consistent and easier for me to run. Let's see. For Shavakadu is leave second command. That was Chris, supposedly. Christopher Columbus believed that too. And he also believed... he proved it, which he didn't. There are 3 main reasons for exploration into the New World and stuff. The 3 Gs. God, Gold, and Glory. I love God, Gold, and Glory. They have Happy Leaf Erikson Day on SpongeBob. Oh, how educational. Very educational. Magellan wasn't the first person to circle the Earth because he died before the ship got there. His ship made it there, but he didn't. Who was the last bit of the crew? It was like 3 ships that set out, but it was only 1 that returned, wasn't it? So who was the ones that were left? Who was the actual captain that got them home? This is the question. These are the questions. And why don't we call it a double V? A double V. You know, that is a very good question. We should be calling it double Vs. Because I feel like it makes the most sense to have a double V. But for some point in time, throughout the history of the English language, we slowly but surely moved away from it being an actual W to becoming a double V. And I don't know exactly why, but we just slowly but surely shifted into that. And maybe it was the scribes' faults. They did it for efficiency's sake, and we have lost the letter in its original standing. I do not know. I do not know. Do you write your capital J's without the line or with it? I personally use the line, which now that I think about it, is kind of hypocritical since I said I use the W because that's how we type it, but J's don't have the W, the line at the top. So D starts with a... So W starts with a D. As most things in life do. I'm not going to elaborate any further on that because that's gonna get really, really bad. Are you trying to forge his signature? I would be honored if you would forge my signature. Everybody should try. It would be really cool. Be really, really cool. You do a soft W. Now that is quite interesting. That is very, very quite interesting. This last bit is taking quite a long time. A long time. Wow. Do you write your R's with the line on the side or without lowercase? The line on the side. Oh, like... Wait. Like... So... Do you mean... Like the line on the left, the vertical line. So like when it goes a little bit above the curve? Me personally, the timer just went off. Me personally, I don't. I just go straight into a curve on it. My handwriting is like quite the unique, look. I don't have good handwriting though, so I'm not a great person to reference on good handwriting, just to be clear. See, I do soft W's, fair enough. I have fried rice, you have fried rice! Hello, Emmy, welcome on in, hope you're doing well. How is the fried rice? My mom gets home today at 5 in the morning. Don't know why I felt the need to say that, but I felt like I needed to say that to you guys. So I'm just saying that right now. There was probably a point to it, but I forgot it. Do you put a line through when you do a 7? I do. It's a bit old school. Not sure if you youngsters do it anymore. I was taught to do it in math, but I never actually did it because I didn't care enough. However, I do like the look of it, and so if I'm writing something a little more fancy, then I usually would. Let's see. I have terrible handwriting, but I also don't write dots on my I's. I'm too lazy, and it looks fine lowercase I. I do dot it, but my dots come out a lot bigger than what they're supposed to for some reason. I don't even know how. So I don't like how my eyes turn out. I need to work on my handwriting because I can't bank on my wife having good handwriting and doing all the cool stuff. Like, for example, you know, this is like an important thing that you got to consider. At some point in time, if you're getting married, you're probably going to have a wedding. And you're probably going to need to send out wedding invitations. You're going to want to be able to write something that's at least legible. And you're going to want to write thank you cards to all of your guests that came if you can. You know, you may want to write letters to people later on in life too. And if you or your wife or fiance or girlfriend, wife-to-be, or in case of anyone who's not dating a woman, the opposite case there. You know, if neither of you have good handwriting, you're a little bit sunk. So I need to mentally prepare for that and actually like try to write stuff. Good at it for lunch too. That's awesome. That is awesome. I have terrible handwriting, but I also don't write. I read that. Fried rice made him think of his mom. My mom has never made me fried rice. But, you know what? That may have actually made me think of my mom. And the reason why is, My mom for the longest time thought I didn't like rice for some reason, even though I eat rice all the time. Like every time we go to Chipotle, I get the white rice. It is so good. Rice is amazing. I don't know a single person in life who doesn't like rice. And if you don't like rice, then you're eating it wrong. You need to have it made differently or something. But trust me, you will like rice. You just need to find the right way to eat it. Rice is great though, and I was really deeply offended and hurt that my mom was spreading rumors of me not liking rice. It hurt my feelings a lot. You didn't have to call me out like that, King. You know, I just wanted to make sure that everybody was included. That's all Swift too. I love Chipotle. Chipotle is so good. It is so good. What is y'all's Chipotle order? Chipotle rice is incredible. It's so good. The cilantro rice, some good stuff right there. I need to. That's gonna be like one of my signature side dishes, I think. You know. Pro tip for anyone who's looking to get married. I'm just full of relationship advice today. If you're trying to get married, learn all the skills you can. This includes cooking, okay? Because if you can make a couple of meals for your significant other, then it definitely helps. Definitely helps. So, you know, learning how to make 5 or 6 different meals definitely helps a lot. That includes side dishes. So, you know, you may want, like, to know how to make a cool side of Brussels sprouts. Maybe something a little more well-loved, like broccoli, and potatoes, and knowing how to make that kind of stuff, along with a nicer dish to go alongside it. But, you know, knowing how to cook is a very valuable skill. It makes anybody attractive because they actually know how to take care of themselves. And knowing how to take care of yourself is a very nice trait to have. It's nice to be taken care of. But if you can prove that you can take care of yourself, that means you can take care of your spouse, and you can take care of any future kids you might have, which is also like a very attractive thing to a lot of people. That all said, you know, you didn't ask for that, so like, that's free. If any of you need relationship coaching, I charge $10 an hour, and we can sit down and examine your life and figure it out. So fried rice brought up trauma. Dang, I mean, don't do that. Don't do that to the man. I have a friend who is allergic to rice. Oof. You know, I feel like they're excused, but maybe it's not that they don't like rice, it's just that they're allergic to it. Like, they like it, but they can only eat it once. Let's see. White rice, pinto bean, fajita, carnitas. Whoa. That's a Pacchio lettuce. Oh, okay. I'm all for that. Why learn to cook? Is that the only reason you get married? To cook? No. Learn to cook though, so that you, like, if your wife or your husband gets sick, then like you can make something yourself and for them. There's nothing better than a meal you don't have to cook yourself. And so, like, if it's about giving a good gift to your spouse, surprising him with something, make him something good, you know? Okay. I can cook. W Nafan. Instantly makes you 12 times more attractive, and you get bonus points because you're British. So, you know, we already talked about it. Your underwear, your accent, and now you're cooking. This makes you a very attractive specimen. Congrats. I used to get guac, but the Chipotle near me was bad about cross-contaminating it with cheese, so no more guac. Aww. That's sad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's unfortunate. I get I get a bowl. I do a bowl with white rice, black beans, steak, and then just cheese on top of that. And it's pretty good. I really liked they had a brisket, barbecue brisket meat at one point in time, and that was so good. I miss that. I really, really miss that. One boy's... Wait, what? I need relationship coaching. My question is, when will you get in a relationship? When I find a woman who actually wants me. I'm not lonely. You're lonely. Okay. Whoa. Hello. That's a bad word. Okay, that's taken care of. YouTube chat stuff, you know? Flip a coin. One boy his head's on his tail, kiss the winner, boom, boyfriend achieved. That's a great idea, Swifty. You should try that sometime. What if it doesn't land the coin? Does it not land? Did it land on its side? If it doesn't land, don't kiss any. Lands on its side, gotta kiss them both at the same time. What? Is that possible? I don't... Technically, like, if you're just kissing them, it could be on their hand, and you could, like, press 2 of their fingers each to your lips, and you could kiss them both at the same time that way. If you're trying to kiss their lips at the same time, you better hope that, like, they have, like, really flexible lips that can just curve around their face and reach over to your lips, and, like, there would be a little... It would be really, really confusing how that would work. You'd have to contour your face in a really strange way to make that work. But you might be able to kiss 2 people at once. I'm overcomplicating it. No, you could actually definitely do it. You just gotta really pucker up. And I mean really, like, you're full pucker, okay? I'm talking... Like, I just ate a lemon kind of puckering. That sounds so weird. Why is this the conversation we're having? I did not just give everybody, like, a guide on how to kiss 2 people at once, did I? This is not the kind of conversation I thought I'd be having. My talents, they're supposed to be put to use, like, really high uses. Sounds weirdly hot. You know, me personally, I'm into, you know, my wife loving me and me alone, and me loving my wife and my wife alone. I don't, you know, no judgment to anybody else. But me personally, I just want to know that I am a selfish and jealous man, okay? I want to be the sole love of my love's life. And if I can't have that, nobody can. I will take away everybody else's opportunity. If I'm single, then... Oh, I broke that with my hand. I'm an idiot. If I'm single, everybody else will be. I'll be Dr. Doofenshmirtz, okay? You know, the Loveinator thing? Like, if I can't have love, nobody else will. I will use the Inator and absolutely, completely, and totally obliterate the love out of this world. I'm sorry. So, that all said, anyone have No, no. There's like a really good question here. I think it's a bad idea. It'd be funny. It'd be really funny. Anyone got any great tips though on how to land a good first date? Someone love this fan. Yeah, I'll take it away from you too. I'll take it away from every single one of you. None of you are exempt, except maybe Nathan. Nathan, you can I think you deserve all the best. Even if I don't get the best. So like everybody else except Nathan, you all have to worry about this, okay? I don't want to teach you guys how to do that, Coral. I don't Dr. Doofenshmirtz. I can't do a Dr. Doofenshmirtz voice. That's like really hard. You have to. It'd be funny. I would love to. I just don't know how. Like that's a complicated voice. Like, oh boy. How does he even do it? Like, it would be way up. So it'd be kind of like right about, not like this. Nope, that is not it. That is not it. What? Not me? I missed a bit of the conversation going to the bathroom. Oh, I'm gonna make a loveinator, and it removes the love from everybody in the entire world if I don't find love in my life. But it's gonna hit everybody except for you because you deserve the best. What about Jesus? Oh, I love Jesus. Jesus, awesome. He counts, okay? In a romantic love way, he doesn't count in that sense. If that makes sense, I hope. I don't know. Swifty, do you have a different request? There's just no way I do a Dr. Doofenshmirtz voice. I will try to learn it at some point in time. But there is just no way I do it. Not today. Permit? Okay. Hey Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes, please.
5 minutes, starting now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, everybody. Let's see. Turn that cape into a dress and a fan. Save us. Be the hero we need. You know, Nathan, I think you are a lovely individual. But I don't know if I see you that way. I want you to find yourself an Agnes, and I want you to be the happiest man in the whole wide world. Let's see, what about me, King? I deserve a 5'2" blonde girl who likes musicals and Minecraft. As much as I would really love for you to have that, if I don't have love, you can't have it either. That's just how it goes. I'm sorry. You get an L+ ratio, bozo. So, you better help me. I'm just saying, you could date her mom. Okay, I think we have a deal. I think we might have a very good deal right here. Because, you know, women are pretty cool. And moms, you know, moms are a very special person, in life. They hold a very special, place. They hold a place in my heart. Let's see. Would you say you want to love your wife like Christ loves the church and likewise for the wife loving you? Yes, that is the most authentic kind of love, is the love that is unconditional. It is I actually had a chance to explain this to a friend of mine very recently. An unconditional love is the most special kind of thing you can ever feel for somebody and for something. Although I don't think for things you can really feel a true love, but to love somebody, even no matter how they treat you, if they they say things that hurt you, it hurts, but at the end of the day, you can't stop loving them. If they love you not, then you still love them. And you ultimately, you can't help it. It's just, you can't choose to love somebody. Like, love is a choice, yes, but it's also, sometimes you can't choose to stop. It's really hard. It's really hard to stop loving somebody. And that is the deepest and most truest form of love, is the love that you don't choose. There's a verse in the Bible, in Song of Solomon. Song of Solomon is full of wisdom, guys. If you are looking for a wife that is godly, just, like, read Song of Solomon. And there's a verse in there that I recall. It's a, it says, oh, how does it go? Do not awaken love unless it so desires. And, basically that just means, like, hey, don't go searching for love. Don't force it to happen. Let it happen. And then there's also, in that same section, it also says something to the effect of, my love is like that of, is like a fire that cannot be quenched by all the rivers of the world. So no matter what comes, no matter how bad life gets, you can't stop loving that person. And that is the most truest form of love. And, you know, if you can feel that for somebody, even if they don't feel it back towards you, you are a blessed person. Regardless of how you feel that might feel. I don't know how to explain it to somebody who's never felt it. It's the most deepest and truest sense of love. And I really do hope that every single one of you can feel it. Jokes aside, you know, whether or not I get my chance in love, I want everybody to truly feel that unconditional feeling. It's, oh boy. You'll see it when you have it. I promise you. You will see it when you have it. And you'll be saying, man, Reg was right. This is awesome. And I can't wait for that for you guys. And for myself, hopefully somebody that loves me back, as well. Anyway, all that said, let me... I want to make sure I read up here. I think I deserve a woman because men suck. Men... As a man, I don't disagree. There are a lot of men that suck. Some of that is about where you look. If you look for men in places that aren't quality, that don't have good quality men, then you're going to find bad quality men. Same thing's true about women. If you look in places... How do I put this? I have some comments there. I want to add some meaningful dialogue, but I need to be careful about how I word it. So I'm just going to keep reading for a second. If I forget to talk about it and you guys really want to hear my answer to that, I will happily go back to it. But Coral, you gotta leave the dating pool to me, dude. I need as many women in that dating pool as possible. We all agree. I need all the help I can get, right? I think so. As a man, I agree with this statement. So glad I've been married for 23 years. That's awesome, dude. Congrats. That is amazing. So I haven't met the right one yet. There's good and bad in any gender. Absolutely. Love when you get to explain Bible and true things. Oh, absolutely. Any chance I get to talk about the Bible, that is an awesome experience. I've been reading every single day, 1 chapter at minimum. Most days I read 2 now. Just because it's hard to put it down. And I'm reading Leviticus. Like, if you guys don't know what that is the book of the law for the Jews, and that's like, it is a slog, okay? It's like, don't do this, or that person will be unclean for this amount of time, and if you do this as a priest, you will also be unclean for a certain amount of time, and if you do that, you'll be unclean, and if this, unclean. It's very important stuff to know. It gives you a lot of context, historically speaking, and it also explains a little bit about the order of things. In Christianity, we're not under the Levitical law anymore, but it does help you understand a lot of scripture in general, and it also helps you understand the heart of it all. But it is a pain to read. Like, the first half of it especially. Now I'm in, like, the second half where it's past all the animal sacrifices, where it's starting to go, okay, I am able to start, like, actually enjoying this again, which is nice. Okay. Sorry I missed lots of lives. No worries, Hatboro. It's good to see you, though. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. You just haven't met the right one yet. There's good and bad. This town is too small. I already tried all the good options left here. You know, don't rush. That's probably my biggest and best piece of advice to anybody out there. Like I said, do not awaken love unless it so desires. It's a hard thing to do, but if you go and search the world for love, you're going to eventually find what your heart is going to call love. But it may not necessarily be actual long-lasting love. That doesn't mean you should never look. You should keep an open heart towards it, but you shouldn't necessarily make that your highest priority, that it consumes your life, I should say. Like, if it could be your highest priority, but it's a passive priority. For me, that is, like, my highest priority, but it is, like I said, it's a passive thing. Like, I'm not actively interviewing each and every woman I meet and saying, are you going to be my wife? Like, I don't think any of you are doing that, hopefully. But, you know, sometimes, you know, you meet somebody and you start to see some connections there and you go, okay, let me run down the list. Are they this? Are they this? Are they this? They're meeting a lot of my quote-unquote requirements. Let's kind of toy around with this in my head. Is this a good idea? And going from there. You know, because ultimately, love finds you when you least expect it. And that saying is true for a reason. A lot of old people will tell you that. A lot of young people will tell you that. Because they don't expect it. It just sort of happened. And that's a beautiful thing. But that means being okay with just working on yourself until it finds you. There's nothing wrong with working on yourself. It's okay to admit that we have faults, because we all do. I have faults. I'm lazy. I'm a procrastinator through and through. I'm probably a little too hard on myself at times. I don't really know how to do the laundry. I know a little bit about it, but I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I did a little bit of laundry, and I know how to Google, so I can do it. I'm not the best cook. I've burnt a lot of food. You know, I probably could be better at communicating. You know, there's a lot of things there, and if I would just start focusing on working on that, you know, I will be a very, very, very good candidate for somebody one day in the future. And maybe that's not today, maybe that's not tomorrow, maybe it's not this year, or even decade, although I really hope it's this decade, because I really want to have a lot of kids, and in my 30s, that's just not feasible. You know, ultimately, though, I will find the person I'm meant to find when I'm supposed to find them. my job is to be in the best possible place so that I make it easy for them to step into the life that I'm living. So it means getting my health issues under control so that I'm not appearing to be on my deathbed. It means eating right so that I'm not on my deathbed. It means setting up my financial situation to be a little bit better so that it's not stressful living with me because I'm bringing in $0 and we don't know how we're going to make ends meet. You know, all those things, you know, you want to set yourself up to be the best possible person for your future spouse. Hopefully that's helpful. I don't know. And don't worry about perfectionism. Perfection isn't possible. If it were, everybody would, there would be a lot more perfect people, but there is no perfect person. So just keep trying to work to be 1% better than you were yesterday. Does anyone have tape? I need tape. Send it to me in priority mail, please. I got you, Coral. That and Psalm 31. Ooh, yes. Psalm 31 is good. Psalm 31 is good. I'm back, finally back. I ripped an essay, but it's 6 pages, so I don't feel like printing it out again. That's fair. Dang it, the slave voice is out of stock. I need to wait until next stream for the old lady voice. Is it out of stock? Really? Interesting. Huh. What project are you doing? I am currently working on the Mega Dome, which has, like, the big dig underneath it. So, down here. So I'm just putting a dome over top of it. We're actually almost done today. Wow. How much more do we have? So you got 25% to go, which looks like this. So it's very, very close to being done. So we'll finish that up today. I may try to knock out a little bit more of this spot here, just because I think it needs to be a little lower. But then we'll start working on the walls on Thursday, maybe. Possibly, hopefully, and all that kind of stuff. We'll see. I don't know. Let's see. If you look at the wrong places, you'll find the wrong type of people. Absolutely, though. Absolutely. What you're reading through, laws and such, is also cool. The law and it was in place to make us aware of our sins and how lost we are without Christ. Absolutely. And knowing what it says is important because it tells you just how bad it was and how and why the way Jesus came and the way he lived was important. You know, it puts Hebrews? Yes, Hebrews into perspective. Hebrews is all about talking about how Jesus fulfilled the prophecy and how he removes the old law and puts you under the new law, and how he was the high priest and the sacrificial lamb, and about faith. And Hebrews is a very good book. If you guys couldn't tell, I'm a nerd, but I feel like this is like a good thing to nerd about. I don't know. Some people would probably say it's not, but you know, we all have our beliefs. I don't think anybody needs to believe what I believe, although I do believe I'm right. I will ultimately let you guys say and believe and do as you please. It just, I have a habit of talking about my beliefs because it's important to me. It is. Animal sacrifices. Blood was the only way. Blood was considered to be the it was considered to be life itself, essentially. And so it was considered a life for a life in a lot of regards. And so not only were you giving up livestock to redeem yourself, but you were also putting on the table a life of some sort to to make up for the blood that should have been shed from you. Essentially, you know, if you're a wrongdoer, an evildoer, and you commit crimes and sins and what have you, then you deserved to die by all rights. But instead, we killed a goat, or a cow, or a dove, or a pigeon, 2 pigeons. And then there was also another goat, or cow, or what have you, another livestock that was given to be set free. And then that was, you know, it was washed by the blood. It was heavily symbolism, but it was also to fulfill a decree commanded by the creator of everything. So, you know, as much as we can look at it and say that seems cruel and unusual and gross, at the same time, like, I don't know. If the man in the cloud tells me to do it, I'm gonna do it. But I also understand why he did it. So that's another part of it, you know. He gave us the tools to understand why he did it. He told us. So we don't have to just say, well, because he said so. Here's your dab jinxer. Gen Z's answered everything. I can Google it or watch a YouTube video about it. I mean, I love Google and YouTube for that. I used ChatGPT earlier today to help one of my friends with something. Because they were asking me, and I was like, I don't know. And they're like, could you just ChatGPT it for me? I'm like, sure. Bet. Did it. It was done. We were set. But, you know, Gen Z has a thing about not asking their parents. And it's partially because our parents make fun of us for not knowing how to do things that they should have taught us. And I don't know how to put this in a kind way to them, but that is a very common issue. Is like, you know, if I told my parents, like, I don't know how to do laundry, they probably wouldn't make fun of me too hard, but my dad would probably laugh at me for a minute for it. It's like, well, it's not that hard. He's not wrong. It's not hard. But there's a lot of steps to it that I just can't remember for the life of me about certain things and about other parts. So I really hate it. I have to write it down in order to remember how to do laundry. I will not, by any means, though, ask my parents. Some of it is also a pride thing. Gen Z has that issue where it's like they want to figure it out on their own. Because we were taught to try to be problem solvers. But we also know that there are certain ways that we should just do it. And so our solution to problem solving instead of asking for help is asking the internet for help. Which isn't a bad thing, I guess. Let's see. Alright, I just want to make sure I'm all caught up. I know a fam who are in their 40s and still having kiddos. That is awesome. That is awesome. It's been a long time. It's been a little bit, yeah. I've heard lots of people talk about Psalms 31 for the women to be more like, but not enough about it being good for a man to know what to look for. Absolutely. I mean, if you read the Bible cover to cover, and you actually do what it says, you will find not just success. It doesn't guarantee success, but I do believe if you follow the practices, you will have a overall happier life. You know, I've been asked by a lot of my friends, I wish I could have your peace. How are you so peaceful when everything sucks? And I'm like, because if it was meant to be, it will be. Like, you know, at the end of the day, I know I'm not ultimately fully in control of everything. But I'm in the hands of the one who is. So why should I worry? And that's about the best I can do. And yes, if somebody would read Psalms 31 and read it and say, that's the kind of woman I want, and actually apply that to their life and look for a woman who follows the Psalm 31 footprint, you're fine. You'll be fine. Stop going to Instagram and looking for women who don't fit what you actually want. There's like a lot more I would say about that, but that gets me into like some hot water probably, so I'm just gonna avoid it. But you guys probably know what I'm talking about. A Christian nerd, I love it. I nerd out about the Bible so much. Heck yeah, we love that, Emmy. Ripped men, but then Jesus paid it all. Exactly, the animal sacrifice was fulfilled fully by Christ's death. The perfect sacrifice, yes. The blood he shed on the cross can last for sins repentance. The Lord burns and dies, which according to TikTok was supposed to be today. The rapture is coming on this day. Ooh, sell your cars. It's not. It will come. Anyway, food time. It's McDonald's. Lurk. Thank you for Lurk, Swift. I appreciate it. And the Mount of Olives, part of Matthew, I think it refers to things about people saying that the rapture is at a certain time, but the Bible says it will come like a thief at night. No one will know the hour or day. Exactly, Emmy. Thank you. Nobody will know the hour or day. It is stated many times in the Bible, I believe, but as it is true. But following that specific verse, there will be signs of times which just as important as nobody will know the hour or day. Yes, I'm having McDonald's tomorrow after I picked my father up from the hospital. I haven't had McDonald's since January. Dang, it's almost been a year, dude. Also, I hope your dad's doing okay. My church is going through a sermon series on the book of Revelation. It's very good, and if you want to continue to be on Discord or something. Oh, Revelation. I love Revelation, dude. I love Revelation. My favorite thing, though, about the rapture, and I do want to touch on this. A lot of people are so worried about when Jesus comes back. Okay? Here's the thing. And I say this with as much compassion in my heart as I can. It doesn't matter when he comes back. He is coming back one way or another. If you die before, then you're still gonna see him if you're a Christian. If you don't die before then you're gonna see him when he comes back. It doesn't matter when he comes back. If you're a Christian, ultimately, at the end of the day, you will see him. On top of that, if you're so worried about when the end is coming that you forget to do what he commanded you to do, and you are like the disciples at the beginning of Acts, where you're standing and looking to the sky waiting for him to come back, and the angels have to come down and tell you, why do you look to the sky? Did you not hear what he just told you? Go and baptize and make disciples of all nations. Most people don't like to hear that part, because they like to hear that the end of the world is coming, because they're... I don't want to call everybody nihilistic, or... not nihilistic, apathetic is the word I'm looking for. They're ready for the world to end, they're ready to die, kind of deal. A lot of people are that way, so that they take comfort in the end of the world coming to the end, coming. But the truth of the matter is, it doesn't matter. That's not your job. It's not your job to worry about when the end is. You know what your job is? To go do what Jesus said. So go do that. Anyway, that all said, you know, I do have compassion for the people who are super worried about it, because I feel for them to a certain degree. We've been told it's been close our entire lives, but you know, ever since I was a kid, old people were saying it, like, it's any day now. There's wars and rumors of wars, so it must be soon. It's like, nobody knows the day or the hour, except the Father. Not even the Son knows. So, surely it's not as important as some people would believe it to be. Because we know it's happening. That's the important part. It's kind of like... I'm trying to think of a good way to say this. How do I say this? It would be like... Okay, Minecraft announces an end update, okay? it doesn't matter when it happens. We know it's happening. That's the important part. That's what people would be excited about, that there's an end update happening. And for anybody to worry about when the end update is coming would just kind of be a little bit silly, I guess. I don't know. I would actually like to see that. I am in Discord. My user is Swift. DM it to me. Instagram and admin are usually fake. Absolutely. Usually. I have Oreos. Heck yeah, we love Oreos. What's y'all's favorite kind of cookies? I need to know. Right, Reg, did you want a link to the sermon? Yeah, please. I would love that, actually. I'll check it out sometime. I'm doing something really stupid, King. I'm porting Midnight Club Los Angeles to the from the Xbox 360 to PC. Wow. You know, fair enough, Spicy. You gotta do what you gotta do. There are always rumors of wars and wars. That's the whole point of the passage. Yup. That and things will get worse. Yup, 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 yup. 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 You get it. I'm so glad somebody else gets it. I've had so many people tell me, like, oh, my parents are always, like, such end-timers, and it's like... Or they're asking me about this. I remember one of my friends, I told them, like, a little bit about my beliefs, and they're like, oh, are you pre-trib or post-trib? And I was like, I don't care. And that hurts some people's feelings, I feel like. That I don't care about whether it's pre or post tribulations. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, it won't matter. And, you know, that may possibly hurt some people's feelings, but I don't feel like I'm unfounded in my belief there. That's for sure. Beyond that, like, I know a lot of people recently have been like, oh, it's any day now, and the whole, like, there's a whole part of that that's like, there will be a great falling away before the end. And, like, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think the great falling away is happening as we speak right now. Anyway, that all said, I'll get off my soapbox. You guys probably don't need me to keep preaching, but, you know, that's a condemnation for some people who are such end-timers, but also, just like a small snippet of just what the Bible actually says. Hello, Kanan Craft. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. Let me accept that friend request, Emmy. Thank you. Boop. Okay. What if I'm not live for it? The end update, that would be the biggest of your concerns. Which is probably the biggest flaw with that analogy, because, I don't know, I would, as cool as it would be to be there for the end times, it's also not really that cool. And you're gonna be there regardless, because, like, the dead are gonna come back to life. So, like, it's not like you're gonna miss it. I don't know. Be warned, the sermon started back in November 2023. Okay, so I got a lot to catch up on, I see. That's fair. I'll have to check it out then. I'm sending a friend request to... I want to become one of the old men on the corner with a sign that says the end is nigh. I just haven't reached that point in my life yet. You're coming up on it. You're definitely coming up on it. And that's completely fair. Great ambitions in life, though, honestly. Probably not far from it. I'll come stand next to you in my cape and pants. There we go. Now we're talking. I need to check something. Go. Okay. Boop. 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 I'm not gonna play Minecraft from the afterlife. Yeah, that's fair. That's the thing about the afterlife. A lot of people have it all sorts of different ways. And, you know, depending on what your beliefs are in life in general, you're definitely gonna see it a lot of different ways. You know, me personally, you know, you're probably not gonna be playing Minecraft because you got better things to do in the afterlife. That's the sad truth. Well, not the sad truth. That's actually the amazing truth about it. You know, as much as I love Minecraft, when I die, I'm gonna have something even greater to do than play Minecraft. Like, something that I'm gonna be so much more full of joy than this. That's like... Whew. There is something special about that. And, you know, like, there's more to life than Minecraft. You could think of your happiest moment and multiply it by 10,000, and it still doesn't even scratch the depth of what you're gonna be feeling when you actually are in the afterlife. And that's amazing. The very concept of happiness doesn't actually compare to what you will feel. It's a level beyond joy, beyond happiness, beyond comprehension, I guess. Finally got the Unbreaking 3 book I needed after 4 hours of rerolling. I believe it, dude. Villager rerolling sucks. I hate it so much. It is hot. I need to roll up sleeves. Retirement plan set. London, sign, Nathan with cape. Can we have a cat with us? I think that's a fair trade. A cat would be nice. It would really complete the look. I went to a Bass Pro a couple days ago, and there was this old guy carrying around his cat on his shoulder. It was a real cat. It was just an old guy with his cat. I strive to be at that point in my life where it's just like, man, could you imagine just being able to bring your cat around with you wherever you go? Last two shulkers, heck yeah. That's just I really think I could be a really good old man at some point in time. I'm probably already a good old man. I walk around hunched over half the day, so you know, I look the part. I just gotta start acting the part, maybe. Is that like Matica? Yes, yes it is. Every joy we have is a foreshadowing of the true, untainted joy we'll have in him, or have in his return, and when he makes perfect the world. Yes. Yes. That is well said, Amy. That is very well said. There's an easy place mode. I know. I just don't like using easy place personally. I know a lot of people do like it though, and I'm not judging them. Y'all can do whatever you prefer. But I just personally I'm not a fan. Boop. It would definitely make it easier though, that's for sure. You like staying it the hard way. I do. I really do. I'm a sucker for pain, you know? Boop. Boop, boop. Do you have an emerald farm? I know of a small and fast one if you need it. I don't have an emerald farm on this world. I'm only gonna be on here for a couple more months though, so I probably don't need anything else. Cause I'm fully geared now. But I do have like a bunch of stick traders, and then I just chop down mega spruce, and that's how I've just always done it this world. But I do, whenever I start whatever my next world is gonna be, my next series, I'm definitely gonna be building some farms like that. I'm kind of thinking of trying hardcore, and I want to get like one long-running hardcore world, and then see where that takes us. You know, if by the end of it I'm like, you know, I don't really think hardcore's for me, it just demotivates me from playing ever again because I died and lost everything. You know, that would make me really sad, so then I'd probably go into a forever world type of mode. I don't know. Yeah, it uses max Fletchers with tripwire trade. There's a way to dupe tripwires. Ah, I gotcha. Okay. Life is pain, Highness. If anyone tells you differently, they are selling something. Yeah. No kidding. Life is pain. It's just some moments are a little less painful than others. I felt that especially. Oh my goodness, wait. I try not to like go on and on and on about this because I feel like it brings down the mood a little bit. I am in a chronic pain, I guess, because we can't fix it, and we don't really know what's causing it yet. We think we know, but the doctors don't really like that idea, and we're still doing a bunch of tests to rule out everything else so that they can just agree with me. So I'm quite literally in pain all the time. That all said, you know, that statement now that I'm thinking about it, some moments hurt a little less than others. That's very true. Laying in bed at night, sometimes it's so bad, like, I'm like, ooh, I might cry. Other times it's like, oh, this isn't too bad. Just like a little bit of pain in my ankles and in my back and a little bit in my shoulders, but it's bearable enough, you know? It's not like... That one night, guys, it was so bad. I was about to go into the bathroom and find all the ibuprofen I could and just like, not literally all of it, but like find a heavy dose and just like take whatever was safest, because it was bad. But the thing is, it doesn't really help me. I just hope that it gives me the placebo effect of me thinking it's gonna help. But it's not inflammation, so it doesn't really do anything. We don't know what's wrong with me though. We'll figure it out. Hopefully. I would love to see a Forever World Series. It could happen. It could happen. I would like to do like a set day of hard mode, survive 200 days and you win and you quit. That's a cool idea. That is a really cool idea. Please say you got the reference. Life is pain, Highness. If anyone tells you differently, they're selling something. It sounds familiar, and I don't know why. Is that... That's not Princess Bride, is it? Princess Bride, oh my gosh. Small confession. I haven't watched Princess Bride in, like, forever. Like, I couldn't even tell you the last time I watched it. But I remembered it being good, so I need to watch it again. Like, not tonight, but soon. Also, this is... Here we go. It's a small, less than 7 blocks long, and it's 1 block thin. Apart from storage. Nice, that's awesome. That's not bad at all, dude. So we're in the same, kind of in the same boat. Yes, yes, actually. I don't know what, well, I don't know what, kind of condition you have. Maybe you don't have to share. Or you may be in the same exact boat where doctors don't know and it's just chasing your tail kind of stuff. But yes, pretty much the same boat. What I believe I have is called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And best way I can show it to you, here's my hand, right? Bop. That is 90 degrees backwards, okay? Most people can't do that. Now you might be going, oh, King, that's fine. That's just double jointedness, okay? Well, here's something everybody that has EDS has, right? Like, boop. I can touch my forearm with my thumb. My thumb. Not great. I can do that on both of them. Like, it's both hands really bad. I have just about every symptom of it to pass the test except being able to touch the ground without bending my knees. I don't know if they'll make an allowance for that, though, because I am 6 foot tall. So it's really hard for me to actually do that because my calves, the muscles won't stretch. But I know there's still room for me to go. It's excruciating for me to actually essentially tear the muscle to do that. But my ligaments won't stop me. And that's the thing about EDS is, you know, I have the ligaments. They're really bad. I just can't prove it because I'd have to actually physically, I'd actually have to physically tear a muscle probably to do it. So I don't know if he'll give me some slack there to give me the point or not, but I could definitely try. I mean, if he wants me to tear my calves, I'll do it. Like, I'll get my diagnosis one way or another. No, I shouldn't. I almost dislocated my shoulder several times, though, the last couple of weeks. The micro dislocations are driving me nuts. The popping and cracking and the grinding that I feel in my shoulder, it's awful. I should read your chats. The more you say, the more of a similar boat we were in. The reference to Bride, Galers, you should watch it again. Best movie ever. I said it. I need to watch it then. I really need to watch it. Bro, we're trying to narrow it down. Ooh, EDS is bad. Yeah. Yeah, it's not ideal. I know it's just the cards I'm dealt in life, whether I have it or not. You know, how I feel right now doesn't change based on the label I get. EDS is nice because it does come with some amount of... You can get some amount of accommodations from jobs by being able to have a doctor's note that says, hey, this guy needs some amount of special attention, or you may be able, depending on how bad it is. Like, some days I struggle to even get up and down the stairs, let alone walk in a straight line. So, like, maybe I could get us a little handicap placard for my family, which is nice. Not that we need it, but on the days that I do need it, it's very helpful. And as I get older, every month, the last 6 or 7 months, it's gotten worse and worse and worse. It started in like April. I lost like all my appetite, and then June and July hit, and I started getting really bad. Now, like, I have an appetite again. It's not as good as it was, but everything is still doing things. So it's they don't know. The doctors really aren't too keen on doing much of anything. I know they have their rules and their regulations that they have to follow to diagnose you with anything, but it just sucks. Especially because with EDS, you may also have POTS. It's a very popular thing, and I have symptoms of POTS, but I don't have bad enough ones to just get it on the get-go. So I'd like to get some testing for it if we could, just so that if they can see it a little bit, then we can start managing it now before it does get bad. But it's hard to get the cardiologist to listen to me as well. I live in a really weird place where they don't like to do much in terms of medical stuff. My primary doctor, she's great. She's fantastic. She does a great job, but she can only do so much, so she has to refer me out to the university schools or the university hospitals, or to the unaffiliated places. And it's a pain. It is a pain to get anything done, because she's sitting there scratching her head and she's like, it looks like this, you're explaining it like it's that, but they're telling me it's not, and we don't know where else to send you. Like, I've been trying to get in to see a joint doctor. I can't remember their name. Rheumatologist. And they still haven't called me. I mean, they sent that in like 2 weeks ago for a referral. So I'm kind of like, I guess I got to go back. And when is my medicine supposed to renew? In about 20 days. So when my thyroid medication finally runs out, I'll go back and have her renew the prescription and ask her why I haven't gotten a call. Because, you know, I need it. My geneticist said I needed it. So surely I need to go and get this done, but they rejected my referral for some reason. Darn you, medical system. Darn you. Okay. Is it more than just the hands? Yeah, it's everything pretty much. It is really hard to get diagnosed with hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Yeah, or hyperflexibility ADS. You'll need to get genetic testing. Yes. I talked to a geneticist. He doesn't really think I have it because he did a e-visit, but I didn't meet a lot of the things, but it's because I didn't know the answers. It was like, do you have a high arched palate? Like, is the mouth, the roof of your mouth high? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what that would be. I don't know what's normal, you know? I don't go around French kissing people to find out how high the roof of their mouth is. So, like, I don't know if mine's elevated or not. And he just wasn't really helpful. But he's like one of the best doctors for it. I've looked into him, and he's got like a very prestigious career in terms of hypermobility, but especially EDS. And he's a really cool guy in terms of career. But he wasn't very helpful in self-diagnosing things. Like, he mentioned something about my feet, but it's like, I don't know. He asked if I was flat-footed, but I've not been diagnosed with flat-footedness, but my arches are, they cave in on themselves after a little bit. So, you know, he wasn't super helpful. That's for sure. But I've been working on it. I'm patient. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of geneticists, so it's hard for me to just go get a second opinion from somebody else. You know, with cardiology, you can always ask for a second opinion, and yes, there will be more cardiologists that will help you. In the area I'm in, there's only like 3 people that do genetics, and they all are in different areas. Some of them are in the one of them is in a cancer area, one of them is in pediatrics, and the other is in OBGYN. So, you know, you gotta pick your poison kind of deal. Do you want to go visit the... do you want to go visit the, oh, what's the cancer doctor called? Oncologist? That doesn't sound right. Oncology. Yes, it is correct. Do you want to go to the oncologist? The birth people, or the children's doctor? As a 21-year-old guy, you know, usually they just kind of send you wherever they can, though. So it's whatever. You don't have to choose. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. I want to make sure I'm all caught up, though. We went down that route for me, but it didn't seem to have it. Well, that's... I'm glad you don't have it, but I'm sorry that you didn't find the answers that you wanted. Answers are ideal, obviously. Like I said, having the label doesn't do you any good in a lot of these cases because you can't treat most of this stuff. But it's good to know that you have it. It's good to just have that peace of mind that it's not something that will kill you. And it's good to know if it's genetic, because if it is genetic, then you know that you gotta watch out for that in your future children. It's a very important thing to me anyway, in that regard. But I know a lot of people are just kind of like, why do you even bother with the doctors if you can't fix it? It's like, because I also need the accommodations, is the other one. If I'm not able to stand for long periods of time, I need to give up on my dreams of being a barista, you know? Things like that. I don't want to be a barista, but that's like the best job that I could have right now, I think. But if I can't stand for long periods of time and there's nothing we can do to fix it, then, you know, I just gotta be okay with that. We are looking for fibromyalgia for me right now. Oof. I hope you don't have that. I hope you find your answers, but I really hope you don't have that. That one sucks. POTS is also not fun. Yeah. Yeah, my primary is basically my sounding board. He just sends me to my next specialist. That's awesome. You and me, we have the same kind of doctor, dude. What the heck? You might have to call them. Sometimes they be dumb. Yeah, it is what it is. Hyper or hypo? It's whatever the opposite of what we expected it to be. I'm underweight, but the people who have what I have usually are overweight, if I remember correctly. And we don't know why, because, you know, I mean, I'm taking, like, not a heavy dose of this. I take levothyroxine. I can tell you what medications I'm taking. I know it's, like, frowned upon to tell people what kind of prescription drugs you're taking, but nobody's coming to steal my thyroid medication. If you're trying to, like, get high off of this stuff, you're not gonna do it. You're just not, okay? I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised, but some people, you know, you guys shock me. I wouldn't tell you if I was taking, like, I don't know, stimulants or anything, probably, just to be safe, but I do kind of want to go down that pathway, possibly, because I do struggle a little bit on the ADHD side, I believe. I haven't gotten tested for it, but I do believe I have it. And coffee does help. It's a great focus tool, but I need something that's like a little longer working than coffee, but a little less something that makes me not need to pee as fast. Like, dude, I have to pee so quickly after drinking coffee, which, I mean, that's expected. It's a diuretic, like, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, I would love to just be able to focus for once. I know that's frowned upon by a lot of people, and that's okay. I understand. I do. I need to read. I'm sorry. I am so far behind. Can I not? Okay, wow. Lag spike. My chat window is dying. Hello Hatbora, welcome back. Hello Panda, welcome. Thank you for spending your taxes, I appreciate it. Holy hole, my dude. Yeah, it's a big hole. You don't. That's news. I know Cookie Man who would be disappointed. I know. He would love to be French. Probably by me in specific, which is disturbing, but you know, to each their own. You and Emmy are two peas in a pod. Y'all, you all could talk medical symptoms in the Bible for hours. Oh, I bet. I bet. That's honestly, it's a great thing. I'm glad to meet somebody who's a little bit like me. My state has only one geneticist for EDS on the other side of the state. Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry. That is terrible. There's like a shortage of them, I swear. Like, there's not very many. Amy and Reg podcast, Life is Pain, and the doctor's trying to sell me something. I love that. I love that. Just looked it up. My state has over 100 geneticists. Jeez, that's good. Oh, never mind. It's actually only 28. That's still really good. Now, I don't know where you live, and you don't need to say. Ideally, you probably don't. But you know, maybe population density might have a little bit to play there, but yeah, it's not great. Same as me, hypo. Yay, Levo, yeah! Man, we are insanely similar. That's scary. Cut from the same cloth. The same unfortunate cloth. Oh, jeez. I love coffee. Coffee's great. I love the taste of coffee. I just wish I didn't have to pee all the time. You guys are getting that, like, little bit of information. Are have I made anybody uncomfortable yet? You know, I've only peed 5 times today, I think. And I've only been awake for 12 hours. That's not a bad record. That's not terrible. Oh, jeez. I can't see. I'm super blind. Oh. I can't get zoinked off anything if I try hard enough. Sharpie was my vice, man. I understand. I understand. Let's see. It's not a diuretic. Yeah, anything that would help me focus but not be diuretic would be great. That would be great. Ate no word en español. I am chatting something about Spanish. In Spanish. Oh. You know, I took Duolingo for like a month. I should know this. Get pranked, Unk. Bruh. Same tattered cloth. Yeah, honestly. That bit TMI. You already know my state. The question is if you remember, you have to DM me a response to this since I don't want to reveal it. I have two guesses. I will DM you. It's either... or... And I don't know why those two come to mind, but they do. It's not good things to have in common, but it's funny. Oh, it definitely is funny. And you're absolutely right. Not great things. Glasses are another thing in common. Are you... I can't remember the terms. I know it's nearsighted and farsighted, but I can't remember which is which. Do you have trouble at distance or up close? Because I always get those confused, so I always ask that question instead. I can't see far away, so about... right about here is where I can't see text on my screen. Which is probably a little less than 6 feet. A little bit less than that. Up close, so I'm just fine. I gotta check if I was right. Oh shoot! Wait, you're somebody else. I don't know why those were the answers I had in mind. You told me once. And we spent a long time guessing, and I was wrong for most. And I can't remember. I cannot remember for the life of me for some reason. I know why I thought that, but I think I was thinking of somebody else, and I don't know who. I don't know. I think everyone knows where I live, but I moved a bit ago, so now no one knows. I hope. I know where you live. I definitely know where you live. In the coral reef. I moved to the tropical coral reef instead of the mid-Atlantic one. It was getting cold. Near sight is when you can't see far, or far sight is when you can't see near. Why would they do that? Why would they why would you make those? Like, I understand. You see near better, so you're nearsighted. You see far better, so you're farsighted. But I don't... It's just a bad naming scheme. I don't know. I don't know why I struggle so bad with it. Like, just say, like, you're far blind or close blind. That's what it should be. That would make the most sense. And you're not adding or losing any words. It's 2 words still, okay? Close blind or far blind. Everybody would be able to tell exactly what you're talking about at that. I am far blind. Because I cannot see far. I think I could win a petition on that. You know, we were talking yesterday. I should be running for president of the United States or something. Everybody should vote King as president, you know? I think maybe that should be part of my platform. Changing medical terms so that they make sense. Far blind or close blind, I can't breathe. That's what we would call asthma. It's it's you know, I'm working on a new term for that one. I don't know what it would be yet. King, I moved. You don't know where I live anymore, I don't think. You moved. You are in Canada. I know that, but Canadian geography is like a whole thing. I remembered you used to live in... I don't remember what province it was, but I know what time zone you lived in. I don't know if you changed time zone, though. I found that too funny. I'm glad. I may need to pursue a career in comedy, guys. No, I moved from there? Okay, so you're no longer that time zone, like 2 months ago. Okay. Or, wait, do you not live in Canada? Like, wait a minute. How much moving did you do? Wait a minute. This would be like news, I guess. Probably talking in Italian mob voice. At some point, 3 off. That's fair. That is fair. Oh, I see. Okay. I got you, Panda. I don't know how I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I'm in the United States of America now. A lot of movement. Ah, wow. Okay, shoot. Wow. Are you like a... Are you here for school, or are you here... Like, you don't have to answer. I'm just curious. Are you moving here to live here? Or... I'm really curious now. I've never met a Canadian who actually moved to the US. So this is like... Really... A really good opportunity for me to learn. Canada. Close to bears or not close to bears? School? Fair enough. Fair enough. There's a lot of good schools here in the US. Doesn't mean I love school, but I respect people who come here for schooling. There's a lot of... I'm really curious where you're at now. You do not need to say. You probably shouldn't say, because I feel like you've said enough at this point. I'm really curious, though. Because if it's... Huh. Did it just... Okay, wow. My chat window is laggy. Wow, 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 wow. Depending on time zone, I may know somebody in the state that you're living in. I know a lot of people across the whole US. PST, a little less so. But everywhere else, I know about one person from every state. Or at least very, very, very close to that state. And a lot of them are in college, so like there's a chance that I know somebody who might know you in real life. Isn't that a scary thought? There's somebody that lives near me that watches my streams and goes to school in a town somewhat close to me. And it scares me because I know there's like a slim chance, because it's a bigger town, but there's a chance that they run into me. And, you know, my life is over at that point. Like, it's done. Everybody's gonna know I'm actually 3 foot tall. And I'm actually a cripple. And that, you know, that that I use a filter on camera to make me look a little cooler than I actually am. Like, you know, they could ruin me if they see me in their town. And now all of you are going to be going, surely not I, King. Do I live in the town? Do I live near you? And I will not tell you. But you're all going to be looking for me now. Probably. I hope not. Don't look for me. Maybe look for me. I don't know. Do what you want. Just don't follow me home, or I'll call the cops. Probably. Maybe not. Maybe I'll buy you cookies. No, I won't buy you cookies. I'll make you cookies. You deserve cookies. If you follow me home. You may also earn some lead. In the form of a very, very fast-moving object. A projectile, if you will. But the cookies, on the other hand, you'll also like those. Those are good. My dad makes some killer cookies. I have his recipe. Like, we'll be set. Canada, close to bears or not close to bears? I think he went to the North Pole. Okay, I'm gonna leave and come back maybe after my shower later. Thank you very much, Panda. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you, dude. My watch is dead. My watch is dead. No. That's fine. But thanks for hopping in, Panda. Appreciate you, dude. I have a fan favorite cookie recipe that I've concocted. Oh, dude, that is awesome. I love cookies. I love cookies so much. Probably too much. They're gonna be something that I like. I know. I told you guys a little bit earlier. You should always have a meal that you know how to cook. You should also have some desserts that you know how to cook. Whether that be pies, cakes, cookies, homemade ice cream, you know, things of that nature, brownies, just so you can make comfort food for yourself and for others. At least make it a couple times. It's not hard to follow the instructions on a box. So if you are really struggling, you can always pull out the devil's food mix. Whew, some really good cake right there. But you know, definitely like spend some time just trying out some different dessert styles. You're gonna very quickly become the favorite of your in-laws if you can do this, okay? I have made a plan. You want to befriend your in-laws as soon as possible. You want to be on all their good sides. It's the best way to avoid any issues if you can, by any possible means. Oh. I have to pee. Recap me on the last 5 minutes of the stream. I talked a little bit about online safety. I know like probably one person in just about every state. So the fact that you moved to the States, I am curious. I might know somebody who might possibly. There's a small chance they might be at like a similar school. Or at the same school as you, which is really funny. I might know somebody who knows you in real life. And then I was talking about how there's people who live near, me, and they don't know that they live near me, but they go to school near me, and I'm worried that every time I go over to that town that they're gonna see me. And that's like a real thought in my head. I need to start making a disguise or something. I did it when I went back to my old hometown, and nobody recognized me. It was great. I had to go to the Walmart there, and I like fully and totally geared up so that they would never recognize me, because I did not want my past employers to ask about me. Especially because that manager there, she was quite fond of me. In a good way. In a good way. I should clarify. In a good way. It wasn't like that. It was... She just thought I had a very good work ethic. Okay, let's see. I was hoping to be able to make an apple cider cupcake for my young adult friends giving food. That is awesome. That is awesome. I love that. That can still be good, right? I guess. She was like probably 42? And I was 17, so probably not good, no, but depending on the 17-year-olds, some of them are like that, I guess. That's awful. Time for sleep. Good night, King. Good night, Swift, dude. Get some rest, dude. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Have fun at the job fair tomorrow. I'm so afraid of going back to my work and running into my manager because he is great and I don't want to worry him. That's fair. I respect that. I strive to be a boss at some point in time that's so good that people don't want to let him down. Like that's just the best kind of boss. Like, you know, a lot of people hate their boss because they're annoying, they're jerks, they're maybe a little bit power abusive at times. I hate that. I really do. I detest that. I want to one day, if I ever am a boss, I would love to be the kind of boss that people work well under because they just want to do well for their boss. To actually be in the trenches with my people. Like, I'm not just gonna sit there and make them do the work and then watch them. That's not being a good boss. That's just being a supervisor, which is not the same thing, in my opinion. Although you can be a good supervisor and not, and you wouldn't have to still work for anything. You could just exist. Anyway, Great Dome, thank you very much, Juan. I appreciate it. We're actually almost done. Holy cow. I'm terrible with online safety. Hold on, guess my state. I'm in EST right now. Trust. Holy cow. Oh boy. Can I ask, is it hot or cold? Like, right now? Because, like, it is starting to turn towards the fall seasons. It probably rained today, because it rained for most of the East Coast. If I had to throw a guess out, oh boy, probably Boston. Boston, Massachusetts. That's a popular enough area that people go to school for. So it wouldn't surprise me if you went to, like, the University of Boston, Massachusetts. I don't know. That may be a little bit too specific of a guess. And if so, don't answer. Don't answer if that's correct. And I guess don't answer if it isn't correct. I have to say that so that if you don't answer, that you don't confirm it. Oh, no. Virginia. Virginia is a pretty cool place. Been there a couple times. It's not Boston. Okay. Kind of middle, decently cold, but warmish. Okay. It's not Florida, because Florida is still gonna be a little warm. South Carolina? Okay. That could also be it. It's not Boston. Norther? It could be New York, but I would be shocked. I would be shocked. Maybe you went to school in New York. There's a lot of schools in New York, so that would be a possibility. And I do know somebody there. Why would you be shocked? It's just, I don't know. It feels so cliche that that somebody go to school in New York when they're from Canada. I don't know. It just feels weird. It feels like a Hallmark kind of thing. It would be, I don't know. It would be a little shocking, but I don't know. I don't know. Did you you're actually, oh my gosh. Well, the good news is, with you being there, nobody will know it's you because there's millions of people in New York and there's a lot of schools in New York. I can DM you what school you want. If you want to, you can. I don't mind. And depending on how long you're there, I may actually end up there and I could go say hello to you. Fun fact, I'm working on planning for conventions and stuff. And there's a couple of games conventions in New York that I want to hit. And it would be kind of cool. I maybe make a small detour. I know I want to hit the city at some point in time, especially around Christmas, but that's probably not going to be when the conventions are, so. But I do want to go out there around Christmas so I can go see all the decorations. That'd be cool. Yeah, dang, bro, you call them cliche. I mean, to be fair, I'm full of cliches myself, so I feel like it's completely fair, right? I don't think I know anyone at that school. I might know somebody who's wanting to go to that school. Hang on. Tell me where it's at. Nope, I do not know somebody who wants to go to that school. So congrats, you are the first person I know at that place. And oh my goodness. Can I just say, is it okay if I say congrats, by the way? Like, I feel like that might be in order here. Just a little bit. I'm gonna take a screenshot. Like that right there, Coral. That is wild. Ooh. Ouch. What a lineup there. Like, that's a Hall of Fame kind of lineup. Holy cow, though. Seriously, what the heck? Okay. GG on a probably really good school. Insane. It's insane. Congrats on whatever school. Any school is actually insane. I will say. If you actually go to college, I'm proud of you. You have a lot more willpower than you probably give yourself credit for. You have a lot more willpower than me. Or you just hate yourself a lot. And in which case, congratulations, you probably hate yourself more than me. So congratulations, regardless. Let's see. Maryland. I lived in Maryland once. That was a pretty cool place. I swear you should have fallen off this thing 1,000 times. I've fallen off of it a couple, but I hold shift down so hard, dude. It's not even funny. Like, I hold it down with 2 fingers. GG, Coral, OMG, you all are so nice. Help. No. yeah, Coral. You deserve it, though, seriously. Like, that is insane. Holy cow. I lived in Colorado once. Hey, okay. I know somebody who is probably going to move to Colorado in summer. And my brother and I, we've been taking bets about where we're gonna move to next, because we move a lot. And, Colorado is high up on our list that we're taking bets on. Not necessarily just because we want to live there. Like, I do think it would be a very pretty place to live. The mountains are beautiful. I have flown over there once, and I actually stopped there for a layover. But we just have this deep setting feeling that that's probably where we'll live. If we don't live there, then it'll probably be like somewhere in the MST, just because we've never lived MST before. And that's been the track record for my dad and mom, has been moving somewhere in a different time zone. Although I do foresee them trying to skew it towards being closer to my sister or my brother, but I don't see that actually working the way they think it will. It never works that way. It's always funny. Okay, other question. Where are the sky rats? You know, that's a really good question, and I think it might be because I'm on glass. And the spawning rules are stopping them from spawning because of that. I don't know. I'll jump down there in a second, but I should definitely have at least a couple of sky rats, surely. So I got sky access now. Huh. Yeah, where are these guys? What the heck? It's so cool. They're probably not gonna live there again. It's expensive. That's fair. It is a very expensive place to live. Okay, we're also done with the we finished. I'm gonna leave the hole in the top for now because I need a way in and out, but we may come up with a different way for that as well, because I do like it. I just think there may be better ways to go. I don't know. But that is the dome done. We will probably also do some digging another time, but not tonight, because I'm getting ready to start wrapping things up. I'm sweating a lot. So, I don't want to give like a great mental picture on how I smell right now, probably, but it's not good. I can tell you that much. Now, where in the world are these sky rats? Like, what the heck? Where are they? Is mob spawning off? No? Okay, mobs are spawning. You sticky king. I'm very sticky. I'm so sticky. I was there for 3 months, did a summer job where I got room and board. That's awesome, dude. That is really awesome. That's got to be a good experience at the very least. I'm sorry that's expensive though. But I live currently in a mountainous area. So I can kind of get the mountains to an extent. I don't think I've slept very much, have I? That may have been the sky rats. I don't know. I don't think I've slept very much. I let somebody else do it mostly. Holy cow, that is huge. That is just massive. I'm trying to find a place I'd like to live though. Truly, you know, independent of my parents. Much as I love my parents, and I do, I really do love them. I do know I can't live with them forever either, so how do you get this to look right? Do I need to like turn off shaders maybe to help that just a little bit? That really doesn't help. I wish I could do it again, but you know, health stuff probably not gonna let me. Yeah. I understand. I understand a little bit. One place that I would like to try to get a job with, if I can, and actually I need to check while I'm thinking about it. I'm sorry, my state offers a really cool thing. What do you call it? That? No, it's not that. What is it? It's a... No. 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 Huh. I need to check to see if I can get certified for, my state pays for, education, extra education, and I can't remember what it's called. They have a special program name, and, one of the, I wanted to see if one of the certifications was, for computer, CompTIA or something of that nature, if they pay for that, because I could do really well with that. Getting into a hospital system to work as IT tech would be really good because a lot of them also pay for extra education on top of that, so you can get more certifications and help them even more and get paid more. So that's something I would like to do, but I suddenly can't remember what our state calls their thing. And I'm sure it's on the Department of Education, but I just wanted to see if I could find it really quickly so I could find out, you know, if I was gonna, if I could get that paid for. Because I would happily get a certificate, and do that for now. Like, I can move around okay right now. Later on, that might change, but, you know, my hope is that it won't, or I can... They kind of let you swap shifts, and so you can do ticketing, which is in one building, and you just sit all day, and you just take tickets, and then you tell the guy, hey, they can't fix it. I've tried to give them all these steps, and they couldn't fix it, so can you go and go do the work for them and fix it? IT jobs, there's a lot of sitting involved, which is why I want to get into it, and I also love it. I don't know. I'll look for that later. I will look for that later. I also need to see, when are the ads playing? Okay, good. I want to get a remote job of some sort so I can work in comfort, so I can mediate the pain easier. That's fair. I respect that, and for the longest time, I really wanted a work-from-home job. I've not had any luck getting any, sadly. I'm sure they exist. I'm just not looking in the right spots. But I do wish you the best of luck on that, and hopefully something works out. In the meantime, what I've been doing has been working on game dev and streaming and YouTube and all those things, just to kind of give me a little bit of something, but you know, it's hard. it is hard. It is hard to get that off the ground just as much as it is to get like any other type of job. Apparently, the job market sucks. I don't know if anyone is like anyone else knows just how much it sucks, but it sucks. King, I have to sleep. A good night and have a good stream and bye. See ya, Coral. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. I'm actually gonna be wrapping up stream soon, so I appreciate you popping in though. Seriously, thank you. Go get some sleep. So if I could get my dream job, I would hands down do it. It's a lot on my body. I want to have my own bakery, allergy friendly and stuff. Dude, Emmy, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. Bakery would be awesome. I don't think I could ever work in a bakery. I don't see myself doing that. But I love baking in general. I think it's a fun process. I just know I couldn't do it every day, all day. There we go. Okay. It would, but I don't even know how to even start. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it would be tough. It would be tough. That's for sure. I worked at Crumble till I started having allergic reactions to the products. Ooh, I'm sorry. I know somebody who used to work at a Crumble as well. I don't know if they still do or not. I don't talk to her anymore. She doesn't talk to me more so. But she loved it. She said that was pretty cool. Calling it as nice as well. Farewell, peeps. See ya, Jinx. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it, dude. Let me also go ahead and start scouting out somebody to raid. That is an option right there. Yeah, I want to see if I find somebody playing some Minecraft, though. What about you? Maybe not you. Although that does look like a good time. I think this actually might be a good person. Hang on. You're a good guy. I remember rating this guy before. Okay. See ya, Jonks. We love Jonks. Okay. I'm gonna wrap up stream now because we've been live for about 4 hours anyway, and I'm starting to get a little sleepies. I'm not gonna go to sleep, but I am getting a little sleepies. We're gonna say hi to Oscar Diggs. He's currently playing Minecraft, and I don't know what he's doing on Minecraft right now, but he seems like a chill dude. I've watched him once or twice. I'm sure you guys have seen him before too. He's been around. Love Oscar. Oh yeah, we love Oscar. Okay, I'm glad you guys are familiar with him at least a little bit. So hop in the raid, get some free channel points, meet a cool streamer along the way. I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out. I'll probably be seeing you guys again on Thursday. We'll be back here working on the mega build. And I think that's everything that I need to say. Probably not, but for now that is. So hop in the raid, get some free channel points, meet a cool streamer along the way. YouTube, this is the end of the line for you guys, so I appreciate you for being here. But that's it for tonight. So, yeah. Hope you have a good rest of your day, life, and 24 hours. Good night, everybody.